Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. Our scenario is called Fingerbiter. It was written by Michael Lebossiere, and you can find it in the Call of Cthulhu Miskatonic repository at Drive-Thru RPG. I am your game master, and this is a long one-shot. I think this is the fourth version we have produced. Normally we produce it in 2 episodes, but we're going to do it all in one tonight. So without any further delay, let's begin our journey into the darkness. Our story begins on a warm summer evening in 1923 in the sitting room of Malcolm Thorne. An impromptu meeting of the Hidden Hand, an amateur investigation club, has been called by Ethan Martin, and he wants to discuss a letter that he has received this afternoon.
I am so glad that Malcolm Thorne was so decent of letting us use his place to meet. I'm sorry to have called all you here, but I got a really disturbing letter from a friend that I thought you guys would, you ladies and gentlemen, would want to know about. It goes like this. My dear Ethan, it's been quite a while since last we corresponded, and I hope this letter finds you in good health. My dear friend, I need your immediate help. I am in serious peril. I cannot turn to the local authorities as they would think me mad and probably have me locked up. What I need is someone with an open mind and a keen eye. In case you didn't know, I am no longer living in London. I began a personal journey some months ago to conduct genealogical research on my family. This has led me to finally to the small village of Dunville in northern Scotland. My research has been difficult, and now I have met with a terrible accident. At first, I was dismissive of the gravity of my experience, but now I know the foulness is undeniable. I must ask your help in this matter, for I feel that you are the only one who might save me from this horror. If you can bring assistance, some members of your club might be able to discover what is happening to me and how to stop it. Come quickly, please. Sincerely, Clarence McDougall. And to give you a bit of an idea, Clarence McDougall is probably one of the most solid conservative minds I know, and for him to ask for my help and to bring other members up is truly a real turn of events for him.
He thought he was in grave peril. Ethan, do you know what it could be at all?
The only thing I can guess from the letter is something has happened to him, that something is occurring to him. By what I see in the letter, because of the last lines, I feel you're the only ones who might save me from this horror. If you bring assistance, some members of your club might be able to discover what is happening to me and how to stop it. So I suspect something is occurring to him even as we speak.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely sounds serious. I guess we can go see what's going on, and if he's lost his, if he's off his rocker, then at least we can give him a kind hand and helping him out.
Oh, yes.
Would he have any enemies, Ethan? Anything like that? Does he come from a lot of wealth?
He actually does come from quite a bit of wealth, all in America.
Oh.
Yes, his money is from America. He had come here to find out more about his family. Mm-hmm. And like I said, typical American, self-made man, but definitely, well-grounded. I mean, we enjoyed each other's company, but when I mentioned the club and some of the things we investigated, he, obviously took a jaundiced eye at it. Like I said, a very solid, feet on the ground man, and someone who would not just ask, for me and the club's help. which he kind of disdained at the time.
He said he's in a town called Dunville.
That's what the letter says. He's in Dunville.
Is anyone familiar with that town? I'm not.
None of you would be familiar with it. Highlands of Scotland.
I mean, northern Scotland is the stakes from. I mean, we're in London.
I mean,
I'll have to remind the club members that traveling all the way to northern Scotland would put quite a bit of stress on our accounts. Just keep that in consideration.
Ethan, if you're if you're really serious about this, then I can cover our fare. That
yeah.
I'll make something up. Say we're gonna go scout a location for a new lodge. I'll write off part of it. I'll figure it out.
Oswald, do an accounting roll. How about that? The first guy to do a roll gets to do his accounting.
That is a what's the term for a super success? Extreme.
Extreme success.
Extreme and then hard success. Is that right now? Yeah.
Oswald seems to have locked up in his head so much financial stuff that he can tell you your cheapest way to go there would be to drive, and that it would probably take about 13 and a half hours to get there. Your alternative way of doing it would be by train. You'd have to take the Flying Scotsman. That would take longer, about 14 hours, from London to York, then to Edinburgh, then to Inverness. And then you'd probably have to take another train to get out into the Highlands, and then probably a bus. So it's
sounds like a car might be not only the more economical way, but a way once we're there to be able to move around.
Otherwise, we'd have to depend on buses and trains and what have you.
Well, yeah. I mean, the only issue there is that it's out in the country. So if we don't bring a car, we might have an issue getting a car brought to us, or transportation. So might be worth it to drive, despite the long drive it would be. I guess we could take shifts. I'm sure I could find a vehicle for us. So
would anyone else like a cocktail from the bar?
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
I'll go to the bar and mix some drinks.
I know that several of us might need a little bit of time to get everything prepared. I mean, it's a little bit spur of the moment, I must admit. I'm quite sure all of us will want to at least get prepared and packed a bag at least.
Professor Finch, you're not drinking tonight?
Oh, no, gin and tonic, please, Oswald. Thank you.
But yeah, I guess an hour or two, and I can be ready to go. Just got to get everything packed.
Oh, it's actually evening right now. So.
Oh, okay. Did we want to? I don't know. Do you want to set off tomorrow then, or?
Sounds
Yeah,
urgent.
why don't we all go home, get a good night's rest, pack a bag, and we can meet back here and set out in the morning?
Yes, that sounds a jolly idea.
What time would you like to set out in the morning? Figure.
What time of the year is it, by the way?
It's summer. It's still a little chilly at night, though.
Yeah, I think the earlier the better, so that we have daylight. I mean, we could actually make it almost there. Should we stop at Inverness and then arrive the next day? That way, we're not getting there at night trying to find, accommodations. I doubt that Dunville, small town of Dunville, probably has not much in accommodation.
That would seem the prudent approach.
Well, certainly your friend is going to put us up in Dunville, though.
The return address on the mail is from the Red Boar Inn.
Well, we could just call ahead and reserve some rooms.
Do you think they have a telephone there?
We could try. And that's a fair point, though, Ethan.
I mean, we could just leave in the morning and roll the dice too.
It's true. Well, I was also thinking by doing a stop in Inverness, we might get if we get to Inverness in time, we might be able to check the local library newspaper for information about Dunville, since I doubt that there is very much here in London about such an out-of-the-way place so far away from the capital, where Inverness, still a major urban area, might have more information about that area.
Smart idea.
All right.
Sounds good to me.
So what time in the morning would you want to leave?
Well, we'd have to leave early then to get there before dark.
Dawn.
I'm going to count out 13 and a half hours. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. I say we get up at we meet at 7 then, or
If you want to get there before dark, we'll have to go at dawn.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Miss Finch had it here correctly. Dawn.
All right, then we'll meet at dawn then.
So around around 6 or so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know summer astrology for this area.
5:30 is still
astronomy.
going to get you there at 7 o'clock in the evening.
Sun sets late in summer, so might be able to beat it.
Yeah, you'll be there in the early evening.
Okay. Let's do it.
And did you want to try and call ahead?
I'll try. Or if you want to, Ethan. I mean, this is your friend.
Yeah, I will see if I can make a phone call ahead of time.
All right. You are successful on the phone call. They've got a number of rooms at the inn, and they'll reserve them for you if you're going to.
Excellent. I make sure that Mary Finch has a room to her own.
All right.
Very good, Ethan.
Innkeeper was Samuel Connors, so you can talk to him when you get there. All right. So the trip is pretty much uneventful. You said you were going to go to Inverness first. That's most of the way on your trip. And what did you want to do in Inverness?
Quick check at the library to see if there's anything about some basic information about Dunville, maybe size, history, any folk tales, since I am interested in folk history.
Do a library roll.
Okay. Regular success.
All right. Dunville, like many other places out there, has the most you get is that it has the ruins of a tower or a castle of some sort. Other than that, the town itself is fairly small. Not much more than maybe 50 people.
And has there been any local news not locals, but news from that area? Since I figure Inverness might have some of the local newspapers, if they have a local newspaper from Dunville of recent occurrences.
There is no Dunville newspaper. The closest slightly larger town is Halhane, and they have like a weekly newspaper. It's just local news.
Yes.
Church social and stuff like that.
Yeah, but if there was anything, out of the ordinary.
Nothing about Dunville.
All right. Well, I'll let them know a little bit. The only thing that seems to be of interest in Dunville is some old ruins, but what small town doesn't have ruins here on this little island? Almost every place does.
You said he was researching his family, the genealogy and such.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know anything about his family, Ethan?
No. That's why he came over.
Ethan, you can do, I guess, an idea roll.
All right.
To see if he ever talked much.
No, he didn't really talk that much about it.
So your friend is an American?
Well, he's an American of Scottish descent.
Right.
I do believe he's a first generation, is the way he explained it. Or is it second?
No, his family's been there since, been in the U.S. since maybe the 17th century, the 18th
All right.
century.
Yeah. So
you know how Americans are. They like to claim their oh, I'm Scottish. I'm Scottish. And it turns out it was a great someone in their family.
He's got the last name.
Yes.
Right.
Don't particularly care for Americans.
All right. So you leave Inverness. You're not there for very long. So that's going to add a little bit to your time. You guys have been driving pretty recklessly, we'll say. So you're getting there faster. You're heading out in the beautiful, lush green mountains and grass-covered hills of the Highlands, with distant, very rocky and dramatic-looking mountains all around you. You eventually get to the little town of Halhane. There's not a lot to it. There's a few main roads, and there's a few buildings. There is, you in fact pass the newspaper office, which is just a door, with a little bit of window. The place is a little run down. They're not wealthy. And you go on. Now the road gets a little bit less traveled, a little less, it's no longer paved. It's more or less a dirt road. And as you come up over a hill, you come down into a tiny little hamlet called Dunville. And the only thing that stands out in the background, in the distance, is there seems to be some craggly, damaged ruins. You know what ruins look like. It's not the kind of castle that you could go and say, oh, it's a castle. It looks like a pile of rock at this point. And because it's a little later, the sun's on the horizon, so you're getting kind of a shadowy look, the whole thing. But the Red Boar Inn is quite prominent. You see it. There's electricity in the town, and you can park in front of it. There's a couple of other cars parked there, and go on inside.
Well, colleagues, I have to insist that we take the cheapest rooms they have available.
Before I set it up there, Oswald, I was thinking about you. I made sure you got the cheapest room.
So be it.
Malcolm, since you helped fund this, I made sure you had the better of the rooms.
Well, I appreciate it, Ethan.
So, the air, as you are leaving your vehicle and heading towards the front door of the Red Boar Inn, it's chilly. It's still going into it's the Highlands. But as you open up the door, you are greeted by warmth and sort of the golden light of incandescent bulbs, and there's a fireplace at one end, and there's a couple people sitting and eating. Apparently, they serve food. There is a large, almost concierge desk, a rustic-looking concierge desk, and stairs going up to the second level. I'd like you all to do a listen roll.
No, I didn't hear anything. 86.
No? Anybody hear anything?
Nope, I didn't hear anything.
Okay.
Desmond, you're muted.
I think Desmond's talking,
muted.
but he's muted.
Sorry. Yes, I have a success.
Okay. So as you all walk in, you're kind of distracted by what looks like a very nice inn as you're there. But Desmond, it seems to you as you walk in the door, for just a split second, you were thinking it was going to be quite rowdy. You think you heard maybe somebody yell, but as soon as you're inside, you don't hear any yelling. You hear people talking and, dishes clinking and stuff like that. But it was you were kind of startled by it for a moment, but nobody else seems to have noticed.
Interesting.
And so you can see there's a fellow behind the counter. He looks up and sees you and he says, Oh, welcome.
Thank you. I've called earlier, set up rooms for a party from London.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Yes, so we have you listed here. I can. We're going to put you up in rooms 4, 5, and 6. Somebody had said you wanted 2 to a room, and the lady needs her own room.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And he says, how long will you be staying?
I suspect a couple of days at least.
All right. Let's get you all signed in here, and he has you guys sign in. And all of a sudden, as you guys are standing there, this noise comes from upstairs. It sounds like somebody moaning in pain. And you see Mr. Connors sort of look up like this and say, I hope that's not going to bother you too much. We've got somebody who's having a wee bit of distress.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, your guest had an issue?
He was injured. He seems to be making a big row about the injury, but you know how some people are.
How did he get the injury?
I haven't got any idea. So, and he starts taking down all the rest of your information.
Sure, you don't have a hospital or a clinic of some sort?
Nearest hospital is all the way in Inverness. There's a doctor in Halhane, and we don't have a doctor here in Dunville.
As I'm looking through the book, because I'm expecting we had to sign in, I'm checking to see if my friend's name is in the book.
Yes, Clarence McDougall signed in about a week and a half ago.
This guest of yours wouldn't happen to be a Clarence McDougall, would it?
Oh, yes, Mr. McDougall.
Oh, I know him.
Oh, you do? You know him? Oh, yes. Right. Well, yes. He's in room 1.
After you get us set up, I will go and visit him. But let's take care of our rooms first. I don't want to.
You have luggage?
Yes, we've brought it with us.
I'll get my boys to take your stuff up.
Oh, thank you so kindly.
And we've had a long drive, so please bring up some clean water and cups.
Of course, sir. And you're welcome to join for dinner. There's still quite a lot of stew left.
Your prices are reasonable, I hope.
It's included.
Excellent.
Much appreciated. Well, let's. You want to eat, and then we'll go. Or should we go? You want to go right up to see him?
Well, why don't you go ahead and eat? I'll go see my friend. That way,
we don't want to.
Yeah, that way we see if he is in the mood to have company, and by that time point, you've had some food.
I don't think we want to scare him with all 5 of us. We'll ease him into it.
So, GM, what time is it?
About 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. That's totally
All of a sudden, I mean, even as you're standing there, you hear this wailing coming from upstairs, like somebody's in a great deal of pain. Oh. And you see, Connors shakes his head.
I'll tell you what, I will go up and see if I can calm him down for you, my dear sir, since you're being so kind. And I maybe the rest of you can join me once you have settled into your rooms. Seems that I shouldn't delay on seeing my friend.
Sounds good to me, Ethan.
Yes. So I will quickly go up since he said it was 1, I will go up quickly to his room. I'll let the others, settle in, and I'll go. McDoodle.
You knock on the door. There's a moment of hesitation. You hear some steps coming towards its wooden floors. You hear steps coming towards the door, and the door suddenly opens, and there is a young man. Looks like he's maybe 20 years old. Mm-hmm. He's dressed in fairly nice clothes. I mean, he's not in a tuxedo. He's in a suit. Brown hair, green eyes, clean shaven. And he says, yes, can I help you?
Yes, Ethan, Clarence.
This is not Clarence. You're looking for Clarence?
Yes.
Please come inside.
And who may you be, my dear man?
I'm David. Thank you. So you look inside, and laying in the bed is Clarence. He's covered up. His hand is bandaged, and you can see there's a couple of glasses next to his bed that still have some whiskey in them. And he's lying there sort of moaning to himself, and he looks over and sees you, and he goes, "Oh, thank God, Ethan, you're here. Oh, thank God. Did you come alone? Did you bring some of your friends?"
No. My friends are downstairs. They're just getting situated. I didn't want to. I wanted to check up on you first before I brought anyone else in, because I wasn't sure what the situation was.
Well, I want to tell you, but if you've brought others with you, I need to tell everyone the whole thing so that you can figure out what's happening.
David, do you think you could bring my friends down? I give David a short description of the other four.
He says, "Of course."
Yes, and I will pull a chair up next to my good friend Clarence, and David is going to get them right now.
All right. So David comes down the stairs. You guys all see this rather very, very handsome young man coming down the stairs, and he comes over to you and he says, "Are you Clarence's friends as well, Mr. Martin's friends?"
Yes.
He's asked that you come upstairs and join him in the room. And as you guys go up, David takes a seat downstairs. Maybe is given a bowl of soup and starts to eat. He seems, well, you can all do psychology rolls.
Okay. Mine's probably terrible, but yeah.
Ooh, a regular success.
Well, for those of you who succeed, he seems maybe more annoyed at this point than, I don't know. It's just, he doesn't seem to be distressed. Okay. All right. So after a few moments, we'll give them a couple seconds to come up the stairs. Ethan, what do you want to continue talking?
I can't.
Thank God you're here. I hope.
Well, I came as quickly as I could because I know how much it took for you to even ask for me and to bring some of the group. I know how you felt about.
You suddenly see him flinch.
What is it?
It's my hand. I'll tell you in a moment, but
yeah.
You have to believe me. You have to. I mean, you know about these sorts of things, so I don't understand what's going on. All I can do is tell you what's happened. Your friends now join you in the room.
Oh, come in.
All right,
we're all here now, Clarence.
Where do I begin? We arrived about a week and a half ago. And
we? You mean David and you?
David and I, yes. He's my assistant. And I was very eager to see the place where my ancestors used to live, the old ruin up on the hill. That used to be a tower, and it was owned by my family. And it was, when we arrived, it was already in the evening, and the locals warned me not to go up there at night, but I wanted to see it. So I went up there and I began rummaging around and something something came out of the darkness, something large and hairy, and it attacked me, and it bit off my finger, and it's I don't know what to do. It sliced it off. I ran back and David took me to Halhane, and the doctor stitched it up, but I don't know what I'm going to do. Whatever the thing is, it has my finger, and I have to get it back.
Are you sure? So, like, a dog came out in the night and bit your hand?
I don't know what it was. It was too dark. I couldn't see what it was. It was maybe a little bigger than a dog, but maybe around dog size. But you don't understand why I'm so distressed. You see, I can still feel the finger, and the thing is gnawing on it, and I can feel it. And you can see him twitching and grabbing his hand.
Now, you said it was sliced?
It was bit off.
Okay. Are you sure it's not just the stump of where your finger was that hurts?
I can feel it. It's not stupid ghost limb syndrome or anything like that. That's what the doctor said. He's an idiot. I can feel it. It's not just some phantom itching. I can feel it gnawing on the finger.
Oh, I mean,
you can see that he's sweating and he's hysterical and his eyes are bloodshot and he's probably been drinking too. But he's half out of his mind.
This might be a bit of a long shot, but I have natural world. Could I roll to see like what kind of creatures in the area there are that he could be talking about? Like that would make sense if there are any?
You can roll that.
Okay. Well, I got a 69, so it's a regular success because I have 70.
There is nothing that you could think of that
I'm like,
match that description.
Okay.
My character will scan the room. Any like pharmaceuticals, drugs?
No.
Bandages?
Not that you see. There are bandages.
Using my knowledge of the occult, is there anything that I would know that would be of some type of something that's been mentioned, in mythology or the occult that would fit that description?
Go ahead and roll your occult.
Okay. All right, that's a hard success.
Yeah, you can't think of anything. This doesn't sound like it's the narrative from any kind of fable or anything that you've ever read.
And can we see his hand, or is it under the blanket?
He's got it wrapped up. It's bandaged.
But we can see the.
Yeah, you can see that it's bandaged.
Would it hurt you too much to show us?
Sure. He just holds it out.
And what finger is it?
It is his ring finger on his right hand that is missing. You begin to unwrap. Do you have any medical knowledge?
I don't think I do. Does anybody?
No, just basic first aid.
Good point.
Do a first aid roll then.
Yeah, because I'm quite sure it has to be rebandaged every so often.
Oh, that's a hard success.
Okay. How did you do, Malcolm?
Oh, I'm not. I figured she would be taking it.
Oh, okay.
I'm not. Yeah.
So you take it very tenderly. You start to unwrap it very tenderly, and eventually you do, and you can see that it's bitten off right above the knuckle. It's been stitched back together. I mean, it's been stitched closed by the doctor, and your opinion is he did a pretty good job. It's red. It's inflamed.
Inflamed, like infected, or just?
No, it doesn't look it's just red.
Okay.
And and he's twitching, when you're doing that, because he is physically reacting as if something is suddenly biting down on the finger.
Clarence, did the doctor give you anything for pain?
He gave me a shot of something, but that was a while back. I've been, and he points over at the whiskey.
Self.
And what time did this attack occur?
It was at night. I think maybe around 9 p.m.
Check my watch.
It's 8:15 at this point.
So, tell me again. You said it was brown and hairy and large.
It was hairy. It was large. It came up and over the rocks, and I mean, all I could see was sort of the outline of it. It was kind of low and hunkered to the ground, and it just reached up and grabbed my hand, and the next thing I know, there was.
Yeah.
So did it move on 2 legs, or did it look like it moved on 4?
It was, I'd say, probably 4 legs. It was hunkered down.
Okay, but then you said it grabs your hand.
It grabbed my hand, but
So
like I
did
say,
it have a hand?
It was almost pitch black. Something grabbed my hand, and then it was bit off.
Did it feel like fingers and an opposable thumb grabbing your hand?
Why aren't you listening to me? And he becomes
asking you questions, trying to figure it out.
He says, "You don't understand. I need it back. If I don't get the finger back, I'm going to go crazy."
And you said this.
The pain is awful.
And you said this beast was about the size of a large dog.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Once again, it was so dark.
Were you wearing any jewelry that may have caught the moonlight, enticed it, something shiny?
No, I don't have any jewelry. About this time, the door opens and David steps back inside.
David. You've been a solid companion to Clarence. I commend you on that.
Oh, yes, I'm kind of his secretary. I assist him. You've removed the bandages. Why?
He wanted us to take a look at it, so we were careful.
Have you finished? I can rebandage it if you want.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he comes over and he very meticulously, he takes the supplies out that he's got and he starts, wrapping it. You can do a psychology roll again.
Fail.
71.
Regular success.
Regular.
Hard success.
Well, maybe a little more for Desmond, a little bit for Ethan. There seems to be a level of tenderness that's there as he's wrapping his hand back up and trying very gently to calm Clarence down.
David, could we get your account of what happened?
Yeah.
Well, I think that Clarence needs to rest.
Sure. Why don't we
he
step
needs
out?
to go to. He needs to get some sleep.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. But when you get a chance, we'd like to hear your account of what happened.
Well, perhaps we can.
Yes.
Go outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't we meet downstairs? Because I know the rest of us haven't had a chance to. We've driven here, and we could use some food as well and some drink. And when you've had a chance to take care of them and get them to sleep, that gives you more than plenty enough time to deal what needs to be done.
Why don't you go downstairs and have some food, and I'll be down shortly.
Capital idea.
To go to sleep. Your friends are here. They're going to try and help you. Please help me.
Of course we'll help you.
So you guys leave the room and you're walking down the stairs and heading down to get some food. What would you like to do? I'm going to get food, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I will enjoy the fine stew that was mentioned, and I will at least get a fine pint of the
Uncle Ale, yeah.
The ale, and maybe since we're up in Scotland, a wee dram of the Scotch whiskey.
All right. All right. So you're all sitting around the table. Do you guys have any discussions before David shows up?
I wonder if some of the locals might know what kind of animal would hang around the ruins. And
I'm curious.
There is no kind of animal that follows that description. Not anything that we have in the books.
Well, I mean, Malcolm, maybe we listen to the local legends. That is part of our job, yes? We listen to the local
that's what I'm saying. It'd have to be some sort of legend or something. I mean, it's not anything that,
They
that you
did
come to
warn
hunt or-
him. They did warn him not to go there at night.
Sounds like there's a superstition around it.
And maybe some folklore.
All right. After 10 minutes or so, David comes back downstairs. It's the 1920s, so he sits down at an empty table. He's already eaten, but he pulls out a cigarette and lights it. He's been like that since the accident. I don't quite understand his hand shouldn't be hurting at this point.
Obviously, yeah. I mean, it's...
Were you with him at the time of the attack?
I wasn't. I was here. In fact, I was unpacking our stuff. He was insistent on going up there. I heard a couple of the people saying that it wasn't a good idea at night, that it's dangerous. They said you could trip and fall and hurt yourself. And then maybe 30 or 40 minutes later, he came back, streaming blood everywhere. We were quite distressed. He had taken part of his shirt and wrapped it around his hand. There was blood. I quickly drove him to Halhane while Mr. Connors over there called the doctor, and the doctor met us at his office. It was quite late. I'd say probably about 10 a.m. 10 p.m. when we arrived there. At that time, he wasn't reacting like this. He was in minor pain. I believe the doctors say that, when you sever a limb, there are no nerves there to feel, so he shouldn't have felt anything. But as the doctor was working on him, he began to twitch and say that he could feel the fingers still there, and the doctor told him it was nonsense and something about phantom limb syndrome, and that it would go away, but it certainly hasn't gone away. He's making a hell of a racket and noise. And I feel sorry for him, but I just don't know what to do.
Why the urgency to go out to the ruins when it was dark outside? It's not like he'd see anything.
And did he insist that you stay behind? Or
no,
you seem quite close.
I was busy unpacking, and he uncovered recently, maybe a month or so ago, a sort of a legend that might have tied into his family. That's actually why we're here. That his family had gold. And when they arrived in the United States, their entire fortune was based on gold. And I think that he thought maybe there was a cache of gold up there somewhere, and he wanted to go and find it. But he shouldn't have gone in the dark. He should have waited. I think that he might have simply got his finger caught on something. And in his panic, which he does sometimes panic, that he damaged himself. And he's somehow, I don't understand.
Did it look like something bit him, or?
It was a pretty clean slice.
Well, surely if there's some sort of monster or beast out there, there must be other villagers who have seen it, or I mean, is this the first time this kind of thing has happened?
I have no idea. I mean, please, people have been living here for hundreds of years. If there was something there that they would have know about it, they would have killed it.
Very peculiar.
Out of curiosity, has it rained or the weather been dry lately since the incident?
It's been mostly dry. A little bit of rain in the mornings sometimes. Anyway, I'm glad that you're here. At least I can get a break from.
Yeah, we'd be more than He sent us that letter, and I just found it really strange, considering how solid he is normally to the ground on these type of things.
I mean, it's true. He's not given to flights of fancy or crazy, wild. It's completely different than his normal personality.
Yeah, that's why I was so shocked and felt that I needed to come up here, because it seems so opposite of how he normally is.
Waitress, can I get a refill on the soup, please?
Connor says, "Who you calling waitress?" There's just him.
Cut him off. He's had too much.
He refills your soup.
I think you're seeing more than you should, Oswald.
Anyways, if I can think of anything else, I'll certainly let you know.
Well, it looks like you've had your hands full taking care of him by the way he's been acting, at least.
I mean, I don't mind. I don't want anything to happen to him. I don't want him to. But he's in a great deal of distress, and it seems to just be getting worse.
Are the two of you due to go back to America anytime soon? I mean, perhaps an American doctor could do something that country doctor couldn't.
That's all entirely up to him. He doesn't plan these things very much. It's like he discovered Dunville, and he's like, "We're going to Dunville," and off we are to Dunville, and that's my job. I assist him, and I go along with him and take care of whatever he needs. He pays me quite well for it.
Right.
It's an interesting little town. I haven't really had much chance to look around it.
It seems like you've been quite busy already.
Indeed. So you guys want to talk to him about anything else, or he'll probably retire for the evening?
I can't think of
So
it.
how long have you been working for him?
A couple of years, maybe.
Okay, so you have been with him since America then?
Oh, yeah, that's where we started.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. What part of America are from?
Asking me questions outside the game. Indiana.
That's near California, right?
Somewhere over there.
Yeah. I do believe it's someplace in the middle. All right. Well, why don't you go ahead and get yourself some rest, and we can finish our meals here and think about this and start taking a look at things. If we need to, one of us can take your place so you can at least get a break.
Thank you very much.
You feel free to go up and play nurse, Ethan. I'm not.
Well, he is my friend, and I will at least stay with him if it needs to be. But obviously, that man has been, on his own, and he looks like he could use a break. And we got a whole team here. I mean,
but Ethan, don't you find it peculiar that he called a whole team of people up here because his finger is missing?
Well,
I mean, what he said makes sense if you make the jumping leap of believing what he's saying. Otherwise, it just doesn't. I mean, and that's it. And so,
I think a man got his finger bitten off by a wild dog and is, for some reason, too embarrassed to tell anybody the truth. It's come up with a big fancy story.
I'd be inclined to believe you, Desmond, but I gotta tell you, I've seen people, that lose fingers, to an animal or something like that. It happens on the hunting lodges and stuff sometimes. They don't act like that. I mean, after a couple shots of whiskey, they calm down. There is sometimes the phantom whatever, but it's not like they're not jumping and jolting as if something is continually biting their finger.
Yeah, but how many of them were rich Americans? I mean, we don't know. They might be acting a little weird over there.
For sure.
Yes, but it was also awfully clean, and I don't remember bites being that clean.
Depends on the teeth.
I mean,
Did the
if he
doctor
were
clean
bitten
the
by an
wound of it all?
animal, surely he'd have a raging infection at this point.
Yes, that's true.
We don't have a lot of medicine to treat that kind of thing.
It looks like the doctor did a good job.
It's just either somehow he's right, and I don't know what the hell is going on, or he's got himself, what's the word? Like, he's got himself so crazed out that he thinks he's actually feeling that. Because that's the...
Psychosomatic.
He's not... Yeah, psycho whatever. Yeah, because he's, like, he actually is jumping and jolting like he's being bit. So he must think... It must be something he's got, got his mind all messed up or something. I mean, I want to help him. Just not sure how.
Mr. Martin, what was the postage date on the postal date on that envelope? I mean, when was that? When did he write that letter in relation to this?
I pull it back out, take a look.
Probably maybe 3 days afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
By then, he would have gotten desperate enough to. Nobody seemed to be able to do anything for it. And a kid.
And the left hand was the injuries on the left hand or the right hand?
Right hand ring finger.
Is he left-handed or right-handed, Ethan?
Probably right-handed.
Well, I mean, wouldn't they be too sore to write if that's kind of what I'm getting at? I mean,
David probably wrote it.
Maybe
Yes.
David wrote it.
His assistant wrote it for him.
Yeah.
Well, do you recognize the handwriting? Does it look like?
Do I take a look at it? Does it look like his, or does
It's
it look
been
like
years since you've actually even seen Clarence, so you don't remember things like that.
Why don't we do a little digging, see if there's any local spook stories about beasties hiding out in the ruins. Maybe
Good
make
idea.
a trip down there ourselves.
Yeah, I wouldn't have called you up here if I thought it was something, silly. I mean, Clarence is normally solid, and this is really strange behavior from him.
The man is clearly in distress, and we've already driven 13 hours. I'm not about to just turn around and go back. Be here at least a day or two. May as well try to do some digging around.
All right. But are you going to do anything more this evening?
Yeah, I'm going to talk to the innkeeper and ask him, yes, about, out of curiosity, about the ruins nearby. What is the story behind those?
Oh, well, the ruins were built. The town sort of grew up around them. The ruins weren't built. The tower was built, the McDougal Tower. And they were wealthy enough that the town grew up around them. And then something happened. Apparently, they all died in a rather short period of time, and then the whole place exploded. At least that's what the legend is. There's probably records. There's probably more solid records in the church. I mean, it's the only thing. The McDougal family is kind of cursed.
Oh, what kind of curse?
Well, it's really quite odd that old Clarence up there has lost a finger, because one of the common names for the family, and he says it in Gaelic first, but then he says that the translation is the nine-fingered McDougals. So I don't know. Their wealth was gold. Apparently they'd found gold. If you look, the church in the town, it's now Church of, what is it? The Church of, it's Saint Drostan's Church of Scotland. But originally when it was built, it was Catholic. It's fairly large for being in this town because it was a lot of the money that they had was given to the church. But yeah, I mean, we kind of told him not to go up there in the dark. If you wait until tomorrow and take a look, you can see that it's a little treacherous. It's just down at the end of the street, and then there's like a dirt road that goes up past it. People go for walks out there, take a look, walk past it mostly. And,
I think we skipped over the point. The nine-finger McDougal's?
that's what the name means.
There's some sort of genetic defect. They're born with nine fingers, or they have a history.
I don't know.
of
You're asking me
accidents?
about legends. I have no idea. They're all just they're called the nine-fingered McDougal's in the stories.
I'm curious.
I have one question for you before I head off to bed there, sir.
Sure.
Do you have any problems with like feral dogs, wolves, small bears, any type of like, I don't know, carnivorous creature that might attack a person in the night?
No, I don't think there's any bears up here, but I mean, you do occasionally get a dog that gets out, but most people keep them pretty close. There's large cattle, cows.
But nothing so ferocious as to attack a man.
Nah.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, it's not the first time I've heard about there being weird things, but, you know, we live out in the country and you hear about weird things all the time. You know.
Certainly. What's the weirdest thing?
Oh, monsters, demons, hauntings, you name it. The ghost of, Willoughby Whitehead walking down the street. It was strange stuff. But it's all just nonsense, folk tales. Brings the tourists up here occasionally.
Yeah, I suppose it would. Those sounds like some fantastic tales.
Well, we appreciate you giving a short history of the area.
Yeah, if there's anything more you need, everything should be fine upstairs. I believe my wife, Lucy, turned down your beds for you. You all have a nice, good evening. I don't know if they say
You too, sir. You too.
Don't mind the dog.
Ethan, do you think that Clarence could be having some money troubles? Why would he come all the way across the pond on a rumor, a myth, a legend that there's gold here, and then desperately comes in the middle of the night? Well, not the middle of the night, but late at night to look through it.
He never mentioned gold. He was just interested in his family's history. It was more, a lot of these Americans are always wondering, about their ancestors. Some of them think that they were someone important, or just wanting to know, the past.
I suppose so. Well, I'm not inclined to go traipsing around ruins at dark.
No,
End up
that's
like your dear friend. So
Yeah.
No,
I'm going to bed.
Was it about 10 p.m. by now?
Yeah, or even a little bit later.
see all you all in the morning, I suppose.
Yeah, I believe it was a good time to get some rest.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Sleep well, everyone.
All right. So, everybody do a listen roll.
Oh,
Regular success.
Same regular success.
74, definitely a failure again.
I got a extreme success.
Okay. And we don't know what Ethan got, but extreme success. Your room is right next to Clarence's.
Oh, great.
And Malcolm's is the farthest one away. So there are a couple times in the night when you hear Clarence calling out, moaning loudly, crying. He seems to be in genuine pain. So your sleep is not as good as Malcolm's sleep, who's managed to completely ignore it all.
I'll just make a mental note of what I heard. Maybe I can bring it up.
Yeah.
For Ethan to come back before we continue. Well, and it'll be the next morning.
Yeah.
A very hearty breakfast. And,
are Clarence and David sharing a room, perchance?
You don't think so?
Oh, okay.
There was just one bed in there. So Ethan, it's now morning. A couple of the guys didn't sleep very well because Clarence moaned in the night and made noise. And
Well, understandable. I think that I think our best bet, instead of checking out the ruins, it would be from a historical point, maybe hitting the church. They seem to know. The innkeeper seemed to indicate that we would find out a lot more about the history of the McDougals in the area from the church. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm definitely. I want to know more of this 9-fingered McDougal thing.
Right. I'm wondering, it seems like all these little towns seem to have one person who knows all of the lore of the area. I'm wondering if there's someone who would know, not necessarily about the McDougals. That's easy enough to find in the church, but the ghosts, the demons, the scary things that
Usually the parish priest is usually pretty good at knowing these things.
That's true.
And if not, he will know. More importantly, he'll know who does. I tell you what, if you want me to, I can let David have a break and be with Clarence for a bit, because I suspect David probably could use one, especially if he was moaning as much as he was last night.
Oh, we did determine that David's not in the same room. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can all go together then, and then I'll give David a break later on when we come back.
Well, I would like to try to avoid having to pay for a second night at the hotel. So I propose we split up into 2 groups. That would be a much better use of our time. Perhaps 2 of us can go to the ruins, take a look for ourselves, while the other group goes to the church.
All right.
I mean, I don't know. All right. I don't know why we all just wouldn't go together.
Well, I'm sure the priest doesn't want a big mob of people storming into his church without an invitation.
I guess. I mean, we don't all have to go in, but I definitely want to go see the we should all go take a look at the place at some point.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I definitely want to talk to the priest, just from a folklorist point of view.
I mean, when you arrive, you see the town. I mean, it's not that big of a place.
Yeah.
Everything is literally within 5 minutes of anywhere.
We could probably all go to the church and then all go to the ruins without too much waste of time there, Oswald. I know you're constantly concerned with money, but look at how small this town is.
It's like, hey, I'm not going to go talk to the priest. I'm going to leave that to Ethan, but I'll still go with him to the church.
Well, you haven't seen the books.
Well, I tell you what.
I'll cover it. Would you just relax a little? Geez, Shrewsbury.
Malcolm, certainly you could do with a bit of confession. I mean, you'd want to go see the priest, right?
Oh, yeah, confession.
They say confession is good for the soul.
All right, so you guys step outside. It's a slightly chilly morning. You guys have already had your breakfast. And it was, like I said, it was a good hearty breakfast. You step outside. There's a little bit of fog in here and there, but for the most part, you walk down the road. It's not really damp or wet, and the church is obvious because it's a fairly large physical edifice, far larger than would be necessary for a town like this, but. Looks like it was built a couple of 100 years ago at least. It's got a lot of stonework on it. It's very nice, the architecture. But also, just to the right is the little road leading a little bit up the hill, and you can see the ruins there. They're much It looks like it was originally a fairly large central building that exploded or fell apart, or there's bits of it everywhere.
It is interesting.
The
It looks like it exploded.
The church is Saint Drostan's, and there's a little graveyard next to it. And what do you guys want to do?
Check the graveyard real quick to see just if any of the family that helped this community originally, the McDoodle, is even actually buried here.
Do a spot hidden for me. Wander around the graveyard.
Nope, I am completely blind.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the birds.
You don't seem to find anything. I mean,
that's how badly I rolled.
Yeah. What are the rest of you? Are you going to go in the church then?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Church.
The church is not locked. You open it up. You step inside. It's quite spacious inside. There's pews on either side going up to the front. There's a large gold crucifix with a corpus on the front of it. And the looks expensive. Looks like the church has had money, and that's kind of amazing for this small community. And up near the altar, you see the priest. He's in a black cassock, and he's cleaning something, and he sees you, and he puts his cleaning stuff aside. And he starts coming down. He looks fairly old, maybe in his 60s. Has a bit of a beard. Good morning.
Good morning, Father. To you.
You want to look around the church, do you?
We were looking already. We were actually more to get a bit of your time to talk a little bit about the history, not only of this church, but of the one of the benefactors of this church, the McDougall family.
The McDougals, yes. They were the patrons who paid for this church. Church was built in, let me think, around 17. Well, there was an older church. Older church was here since the late 1400s. It was replaced by the McDougals with great donations of gold and money in the 1780s or so. At least that's when the church records show that we inherited quite a lot of donations from them. I know only a little bit because I haven't been the parish priest here for very long, only about 7 years. But there's complete records of everything that's going on.
Would you mind if we take a look at those records?
As long as you're careful, you don't damage anything. You look like fine people. Let me take you back there. And he takes you into a room, and there are church records, books and books and books and books. So I'd like you all to do library rolls.
Would make sense. I had the worst roll I've ever had. Now, a better one. I have an extreme success with library use.
I got extreme success.
I got a 20.
Success.
I got a 22. Would me spending luck to make it an extra success add anything, or no?
Not necessarily, but I mean, you're finding stuff. It's taking a while.
I'll spend it. All right, I'll spend 2. I'll spend 2 luck to make that a success.
Well, say since and how about you, Mary?
Hard success.
Hard success. Wow. And Desmond?
You're muted.
Yeah. But you
I had a hard success as well.
Oh, you all got hard successes. So I'll say in the course of 2 hours or so going through these things, you find quite a bit of information.
MacDougall Tower was constructed in 1487 and the village of Dunville sprang up around it. The family experienced success in their business ventures and they grew in prosperity and wealth. They were good members of the church and contributed in measure accordingly. By the mid-1700s, the family's success began to decline. Most of their wealth was gone by 1775. Then, in 1779, during the construction of a well, they literally struck gold. Almost overnight, the family was once again exceedingly wealthy. In December 1781, one of the family members asked the minister to perform an exorcism on the tower to drive out an evil spirit that plagued them. It is not recorded if the exorcism was actually performed. In the weeks that followed, all 6 resident members of the family began showing signs of madness. January 7th, 1782, records show the death of Samuel MacDougall. January 10th, 1782, show the death of Mary MacDougall. January 11th, same year, Grace. 15th, Andrew. 20th, again, same year, George MacDougall. January 25th, again, 1782, Robert MacDougall. Ian MacDougall, the brother of Andrew, returned from abroad. He was deeply disturbed by the death of his family. And after the funeral, he announced his immediate intention to move the newly independent colonies across the sea to make a fresh start. March 9th, 1782, the MacDougall Tower exploded. Sometime around 11 p.m., all burnable parts were burned. Ian MacDougall made a very large donation to St. Drustan's Church before departing for the United States of America shortly thereafter. October 1782, it was discovered the graves of the MacDougalls. The MacDougall family had been desecrated, possibly by grave robbers.
Is the priest still here with us?
He's cleaning the church, so he's available. It's just
I'm going to ask him. Do they know what caused the explosion at the castle?
Well, there's a number of different stories. Most of them seem to point that Ian himself blew the place up with dynamite for some reason. It was literally within days that he donated a great deal of gold and left for the United States. But no one knows for sure. It's kind of odd, the ruins up there. It definitely looks like they're scarification, and nothing grows up in the ruins itself. The grass grows up to the burn spots and stops. It's odd.
We were told the MacDougall family's cursed. Do you give any credence to that?
Well, apparently the graves were desecrated. I don't know if the locals had some beef against them, but it doesn't make much sense since they were the ones who brought prosperity to the town. The records show they all went mad.
Yeah, in a short period of time, almost right after their request to get a exorcism. I'm not sure if there's no indication.
No records.
Yeah.
There's no records of it.
And it doesn't say how they died, because it just says they died.
They died of madness. You know how that goes. Of course, medical records are not such.
Of course.
Yes.
This is the 1700s.
How does somebody die of madness?
Well, that's what they would say in the 1700s. I mean, apparently they went so mad they cut off their own fingers.
Oh, the nine-fingered.
That's kind of where the legend comes from. Yeah.
What? No. You care to expound on that? They cut off their own fingers.
Well, that's once again the legend that they were crazy.
And did the graveyard desecration happen here on the church grounds?
Yes.
And what was, the nature of that desecration? Were the corpses dug up, or the?
I don't know for sure. It's the records just show they were desecrated.
Did we take a look at those?
Well, they don't exist any longer. The grave spots have been reused for other people. It's 300 years ago, 200 years
Understandable.
ago.
Well, at least it means the graves are desecrated to the point where they could be, reused for a new corpse.
Most likely they were dug up because people wanted to find the gold. or finds, if they see if they were buried with gold or.
But then
whatever.
to take the whole body sounds.
You're not the first person to ask these sorts of questions. There's people come up here occasionally, looking around the ruins trying to find the hidden gold.
I assure you, we're not here for gold.
There was a young fellow up here just a few weeks ago trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, we're friends of his. He was injured in the process.
Oh no, not him. Most of the town folks now know about that fella.
Who's this other fella?
I don't know what his name was. I think he was some sort of businessman. He heard the legends and just decided to go snooping around, but he stayed at the end, then he left. So,
You wouldn't happen to be able to give us a description of the young man, would you?
no, I never saw him. We're just talking about town rumors that go around.
I got you.
Everybody talks to me the same as they talk to everybody else. We heard about the young fella up there at the inn that got his finger bit, and he's a McDougal. So none of us are surprised. It's
No.
part of the legend.
Well, he told us about a little furry creature. Is there any sort of local legend about such a thing, even outlandish? No.
Not that I ever heard of. I mean, there's, tales about people going missing, but nobody from the town going missing. Nobody that you can put your finger on and say, old Mick Jenner is gone. That's never happened.
Yeah. If you've had anyone disappear, it's usually you can find out later on they left to get away from their wife or.
Yeah. Despite all the teachings that I try to give them from the Bible, they're still a superstitious lot.
It's the nature of humanity, isn't it?
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that, Father. I was going to ask you, who is the biggest town gossip, superstitious one? Anybody come to mind?
Everybody's, we're kind of a boring folk out here. We don't have much to talk about. In the evening, in the inn, people sit there and just jabber on.
Okay. The only reason I ask this was where I grew up. There was always some old timer at the bar who's had a few too many and was always more than happy to tell you some local legend or a story of a thing he had seen.
I'm sure that happens.
Okay.
You seem to be really interested in these old legends.
Well, I mean, I just find it interesting that a man claims that a creature came out of the darkness and bit off his finger.
Oh, is that what he claims?
It is.
That's not.
What do you think it was? You think he did it to himself?
Well, he's a McDougal.
Have you known any other McDougals, though?
No McDougals in this area at this point. Just legends.
Because that's the thing is we saw him as a bit of more of a conservative thinker, a well-minded person. He was always a skeptic, to us, but now he's claiming that something bit him.
Maybe the proximity to the old McDougal Tower has worked its way into his mind somehow.
Oh, you can't really believe that, though, Father, right?
I don't know. I don't know what to believe. I don't believe that sort of things. I'm, despite my age, I'm much more of a modernist. I believe in the Bible and that
if
God
you can't
protects
feel
us
it,
all.
touch it, and examine it, then it's not really there, unless it's the spiritualness of God.
Absolutely.
I appreciate.
Well, folks, if there's anything else I can help you with, you're welcome to come to church on Sunday.
Oh, thank you. You wouldn't happen to know if there is a more obviously you have a fine collection of history of the area. You wouldn't happen to have know where there would be a history of the McDougal family outside of this fine church?
No, not at all.
All right. Well, I appreciate you taking your time.
You all have a nice day.
Mm-hmm. I leave something in the tith box, and as we're walking, I go, so far, The only thing that kind of strange, it's really strange that they all got hit at once, the whole family, by some type of craziness around the same time point. You know, when they
Also, Ethan, that was 200 years ago. What we prescribed to madness then could be explained by something else now.
Oh, I agree.
And what was the name of the last McDougal on that document we found? Was it Ian?
Yeah,
Who went to America?
He's the one
Ian's
that
the one that
lived,
went to America. Yeah.
And do we know, Ethan, do you know the lineage of Ian to
No, by
Clarence? Would it be his great-grandfather?
It's the only thing that Clarence knew about his family was probably the first McDougal in the United States, which would have been Ian. That's as far back as he had ever gotten.
No, but what I'm really curious about is this other person that was in town a couple weeks before this. And he stayed at the inn, which means his name may be in the books.
If he used his name.
True, but even so, his handwriting would be there. And what I'm thinking is, could be possible that we might be able to trace it there. And, also maybe Ian sent David up ahead of time. I hate to be suspicious, but I've noticed some oddities about David a little bit. And, that concerns me as well. But yeah, let's find out who that. But since we're right near the ruins, I think Oswald was correct in the first place that we should check out the ruins too.
Yeah.
And then we can head back and check out the inn and check out the book then. Does that sound in your book, Oswald, as the financially sound thing to do?
Well, the financially sound thing to do would have been to split up in two, but at this point, that's fine.
All right. I'm glad that we have your approval.
Okay. So you leave the church. The temperature is warming up. The fog is starting to lift. You head up a little path up the hill, and there, laid out ahead of you, is the McDougal ruin.
Ooh.
And as you sort of approach it and wander around a bit, it's kind of laid out like this.
Whoa.
And it very much seems like it at the large building blocks were blasted out from the center.
It looks like a lot came blasting out this direction towards this to the east. Assuming that's the east.
And so this was a castle or a tower?
It's called a tower, so it wasn't much more than a big round.
I know it's been years, but let's take a look at maybe we can find I know it's been rained a couple times lightly, but maybe we can see where that much amount of blood from loss of a finger, there might be a trace still left.
Find his finger. Stop him from whinging about it.
That's true too.
All right. I'd like you all to do. It's actually a fairly large area. Think like football field size at least. Do spot hidden rolls.
Ooh, that's a 6.
92.
Glad someone was eagle eye. McGee.
That's an extreme success.
All right. So Mary is walking about, and you use sort of deduction. If he was up there and he came, he would have had to have run down to the road and in that direction. You start looking around, and you do find some areas kind of on the north side of the ruins where there's like dark stains. The stones themselves are fairly dark. They're granite or a dark granite. And you can see some places that look like they might be stains. Of course, they're not red anymore. They've
Right.
that was a week ago. You'll also find at least one spot that looks like it might be the indentation of a shoe. So somebody could have been walking up here.
And I'll draw everyone. I think I may have found where he lost that finger. Definitely looks like some bloodstains around here. Or
Good find.
at least.
Very nice.
You're maybe 80% sure that that's
Right.
blood.
Are there any other tracks in the area, possibly like animal tracks?
Well, that's the thing. This road, the little dirt road, comes right up to here, and you do find evidence that other people occasionally go on walks and come up here and wander around. Maybe even townsfolk just going for a walk will walk up here. So you do find evidence that there's other human
Right.
footprints around, but it's mostly grassy. As you move towards the center, there's less and less vegetation, but you don't find anything like that. You don't find any animal prints.
Do the ruins look like they'd be easily like scaled to get inside and look around?
Well, there's not really much of an inside. It's more
Okay.
of a big pile. Yes, and you can also see that it's kind of treacherous. You could also kind of see places where two stones have fallen near each other, and it's almost scissor-like. If you were to rake your hand along there, you could get caught. Your finger could get caught, and if you just yanked it, you might actually
Just cut it right off.
cut it straight off. It's not that sharp, but you know what I mean. You'd have to hit it pretty damn hard.
I'm beginning to think David's theory has some weight to it, that he maybe just caught his hand in the ruins and accidentally took his finger off.
It would be an unfortunately embarrassing conclusion to a trip across the ocean to go find gold, and all you do is end up losing your finger.
Yeah, but like I said, there's something. If that's the case, then there's something up with him in the head, because like it's psychosomatic at this point. Like he feels like he's being bit.
Certainly, but I mean, we're here to find the answer to the mystery, and if the answer to the mystery is the man's a little loopy in the head, I'm not an alienist. I don't know about any of you, but I mean, I'm happy to keep looking as long as somebody else is paying for my room, as he kind of winks at Oswald. But I don't. I don't want to.
I'm sure.
I don't want to waste anybody's time like too much.
Wow. Yeah, I
I agree
mean,
with the detective.
I've got the rooms. Don't worry about that.
I will check the. Do we find a finger or anything like that, or does it look like something like that might have occurred?
Well, only a possible blood stain, but it's not a lot of blood. I mean, it's not like there's a splatter everywhere.
Do we see anything else?
I mean, if
That
we
shoe
were to,
print, the footprint,
Part-
or the shoe,
part of a
was it a shoe
footprint.
print or a footprint?
A shoe print.
if we're to believe your friend's story, we'll believe it. I'll buy in for a second. It would be in the hands of a beast anyway, because he can feel the finger being gnawed on. So I don't think we're going to find it laying about here.
Yeah.
So even if he lost it via the rock cutting it off, or it being cut off, or it being bitten off, ultimately we'd be looking somewhere else to find it, right?
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah, and we're not equipped to check out these ruins beyond a certain point anyway. It looks like it would be fairly dangerous to go beyond a certain point, correct?
In the daytime, you could probably climb all over it. I mean, as long as you could injure yourself. Some of the edges on the blocks are still pretty well hewn. They're right angles, so.
And we get still, early. We could take a climb around, just get an idea.
Well, yeah. Let's be careful. Watch each other's backs.
At least we could at least put an honest effort into it. And then if we don't find anything, I agree. I don't want to waste our time or Oswald's accounting skills. I have no issue if this is wrong. This is wrong.
There
But let's check it out. Check out these ruins, and then we can go back to the inn, have a hearty meal, and I can check the books to see who was here a couple weeks ago.
Out of character, who has the highest natural world skill?
70.
I think he does.
I have
Well, I
70.
mean, don't like biologists use get a lot of information from animal excrement. I mean,
That would be science biology, not natural world.
well,
Natural world I can tell you where to find animal droppings.
well, my point is that wouldn't someone with that kind of background look around? I mean, do we see
What did you
animals?
find where an
That's what we're going to do.
where
We're
an
gonna-
animal
Yeah,
stays?
Tracks. and
We're going to
spores.
climb up and look around.
You don't find any scat or
Yeah.
animal droppings.
But no animal droppings. Okay.
Yeah.
I
My
mean, you might
intention is
see-
to look
you might
around.
you might see bird droppings on the rocks here and there, but
Okay. Yeah.
nothing unusual or out of the ordinary.
I guess we'll have to go to America to get some scat.
Yeah. Well, I'll climb up and take a good look around.
Okay.
Yeah, I will climb around as well, just kind of trying to get an idea of this place. Maybe see where the explosion centered from.
Those of you who said the word climb, do climb rolls.
I'm not going to
Help. Egads, 05. I'm in shock. That's a hard success.
Success.
Okay.
Oh God. Where's
I'm a
it's
mountain
only
goat
20?
today.
Oh great. All right. That's what? 17 luck? Sure. All right. I'll spend 17 luck. Go to 41.
Oh,
Make it a success.
that just means that you're not going to get hurt.
I want to get hurt here.
I'd still say that Malcolm probably almost loses.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And manages to grab a hold of something. And
Whoa!
from it. It's treacherous. And if you were up here in the dark, it'd be dangerous.
I don't know
But you
why.
don't really find anything. You see that nothing, like the book said, nothing burnable survived. All the wooden parts of the structure.
And I mean,
went up in
from
flames.
up here, if there was some sort of beast that wouldn't make sense being here, where could it have gone? Like, if it attacked somebody here, is there woods? Is there, what is around?
Not really. There's a few trees. You're kind of up on a hill. The whole idea of building it here would be so that you could see everything all around you.
Right. So there's some trees on the hill, and then you'd have to go down the hill to.
Right, and there are parts of this are almost inaccessible, as far as I mean, maybe there was a basement in the tower. You don't know, but at this point, it would be buried. And you realize too that you could look around here for a few days. I mean, there's 1,000 little nooks and crannies and broken pieces of blocks of stone.
Yeah, we're just giving it the honest try it deserves. And
Does this look, so judging by the lack of, I think you said there was like no vegetation that grows up here anymore.
Not right in the middle of it, no.
And the kind of the radius of everything, does this kind of line up with an explosion of some kind? Does it make sense that would have been what they suspect?
Yeah, like you would have had to have used quite a bit of dynamite. But it would be something like dynamite. I'm pretty sure they had dynamite back then. They didn't have TNT, but they had dynamite.
Right.
Gunpowder would have done the
20s.
gunpowder.
Yeah, by the 20s we had dynamite. Yeah.
So
would
this was
a
in
gun
the
explode?
1700s.
Would a gas explosion cause something like this?
A
In the
gas
1700s, though? I don't know.
Only if natural gas was forming in a
Back
pocket
then?
under the tower or something.
Yeah, maybe.
That'd be like rare.
That'd be
But the lack of
extremely unusual.
vegetation, that's what's got Mary thinking.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what-
that is
No
quite
growth.
kind of odd. It's like nothing wants to grow on this.
Almost like this land is
on
cursed,
this
like the
star.
McDougalls.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Anybody
not-
fancy a stakeout tonight?
Mary, do an idea roll.
That is I'll spend the point and make it a hard success.
Okay. maybe to keep the vegetation down around the tower, they salted the ground.
Oh.
Which might be the reason why nothing really wants to grow up here.
I mean, there are other reasons to salt the ground too, aside from preventing vegetation from growing.
So
We could check the soil real quick. Take a soil sample and see the amount of salts.
I don't know about you, Ethan, but I'm not a
Well, neither am I. But
Did you bring a lab with you,
expert on
Ethan?
dirt.
Hey, that's not my area of expertise. I'm just throwing out the idea.
That's
Like
fair.
a-
Could take a
That's fair.
4-hour drive to Inverness.
Yeah, right.
University, and that's what they say.
So, so the 5 or 6 family members go crazy. And they die through madness. And then this Ian McDougal comes back from America, arrives in town
He actually
Then-
came back from London. I think he was at
from
school.
London. Okay, and then the tower just blows up. Then he gives a big cash donation to the church, and then he flees to America. Is that the story?
Pretty much.
Is it something about this place that made them all go mad, or was it simply just cabin fever? All of them cooped up together.
This would be a good question to ask Clarence if the original family member was missing a finger or anything.
That's true. Also, if madness runs in his family, I know that's a bit of a taboo topic,
Yeah.
but we're trying to figure out what's going on
Yeah.
here. Maybe he'd be more forthcoming. Did the madness end here in Scotland, or did it continue down the family line?
Yeah. Well, we can find this out later on. But I think we've given it an honest try. At least we've checked out the ruins. And I don't know about you, but let's see, it's about now what? 1
Probably
or
about
2
ready for
o'clock?
lunch. Yeah. I'm ready for
You've
lunch.
been.
Yeah, let's get some lunch. Let's go back to the Red Boar Inn and get our, get together, get our thoughts. And by that time point, we can check the books here and see who was here a couple of weeks ago.
I think Desmond had a good idea of maybe staking out this place too later tonight. I think that's valid.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm willing to join you, Miss Finch. What about the rest of you, John? I suspect that Malcolm here, who has, done many a time in a blind or on a hunt, would be interested in being up with us.
Of course. Yeah, of course.
All right. So you guys head back down the hill. People in the town seem to be fairly friendly. It's that most of them are either farmers or they have cattle, maybe sheep. But as people seem to be friendly and everything. They've gotten used to over the last 20 years or so people showing up who are just wanting to look at ruins. It happens all over Scotland. You get back to the Red Boar Inn, and you guys sit down to have some lunch. And I would like everybody to do library rolls. Let's see who gets the best roll.
Oh, 18, so a regular success.
Nice.
Nice.
And
Mike.
98.
Yeah, if you
And
get a hard,
5.
you beat me, though. There, well then.
Ooh.
No luck.
Anybody beat the 5? Okay. So you guys are sitting there thinking about these things, and Desmond, you suddenly look over. You've got a newspaper sitting there. You look over at the paper. It's kind of been rolled up, but it's just sitting there. But there's an article that suddenly catches your eye, and you pick up the newspaper and look at it, and that's what you see.
Fancy this here, folks. Look what the newspaper has to say. Missing fingers. Police are baffled by a number of bizarre assaults that have taken place in the last few weeks. 4 local women have had one of their fingers removed. Jesus. Miss Carla Camstron has told reporters that she was assaulted by a man. While she lay unconscious, he apparently removed her left ring finger, then carefully bandaged it up. When she regained consciousness, she was alone in a back alley of Halhane, not far from where she had met the man. She remembers very little and could not offer the police a description of her assailant. Similarly, Miss Emily Glass, Margot McAndra, and Moira Singlair were similarly assaulted and deprived of one of their digits. Most of these assaults took place in or around the Pesthall district, an area notorious for its ladies of the evening. Police have added a second patrol of the area. You know, I always hate it when they write the ladies of the evening in such a negative light. They're just working girls. But that's
Okay.
Having read that, does anybody want to take a 5-minute break?
That sounds good.
All right. So you found that article, and you guys are sitting there over lunch. What do you guys want to do?
Missing fingers, huh? So we've got the 9-hand. Sorry, what the name? Sorry,
Nine-finger McDougal's.
9-finger McDougal. Yes, I love that. 9-finger McDougal's, and also missing fingers.
I mean,
What is it with fingers?
And the ring finger.
What's the time frame of this? Is this occurring before or right after what's happened to Clarence?
before.
There's no clear indication. Well, that the newspaper wouldn't it? Within the last 3 weeks.
So this would have been a little bit before and after.
Possible. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go over and check out the sign-in book, go back to a couple, to one of the priest had mentioned, and I'm going to see what names are there and the handwriting.
There are a number of names, not a lot. The only one that seems, well, I don't know if it would list anything like profession. The only one that seems like somebody coming from quite a distance is a man named Ian Bannerman. The other ones all seem to be like maybe people that are fairly local that were traveling and got here whilst they were going to some other town. Or Bannerman seems like it's not a local.
What if we tried to figure out who this finger bandit is? His target seems to be women in a certain part of town. What if I act as like a decoy? And of course, you would all be nearby, so no harm would come to me. Figure out who this person is. If he is the person who took Clarence's finger.
That's actually, I should have asked him. I was thinking about asking him if he was a really hairy man, but I figured it wouldn't make sense to have a man bite your finger off either. And then he said it was on all fours. But yeah,
I think the detective would be well suited to keep an eye on you.
Absolutely. I'd be more than happy to accompany you, Mary.
yeah, and I can try to position myself somewhere with a gun, and that way, if anything
A gun,
happens,
really? Here in England?
yeah,
I know we're in Scotland, but really?
I've got one.
I have a gun on me right now, Ethan.
It's not a long gun. I don't have I didn't. Of course, I'm not going to bring a long gun to Scotland, but just saying, I'm ready to watch from a hidden position. So if someone does try to sneak up on her, that we're not going to leave her high and dry.
It's a thought anyway. I mean, we could always stay local for now, talk to this other man, Ethan, that you said was in the book, see what his deal is. And
Yeah.
Oh, he checked out. He's no longer in the area.
Did he seem to leave it
A couple of weeks ago.
Perhaps Innkeep could share some insight about this individual.
What was this? I asked him, seeing if the innkeeper will have any knowledge about this person and where he seemed to be interested in.
Yes, Mr. Martin, what can I do for you?
Yes, I saw that this person had come in from a distance. I was wondering if he happened to mention where he was going or what he was interested here in.
Oh, this Mr. Bannerman.
Yeah.
He was some sort of salesman. Had a couple of suitcases with him.
What was he selling?
He never actually got around to talking to us about that. I think he was traveling.
That's awfully strange. A salesman usually attempts to do a sale on everyone.
Well, he stayed a couple of days. I mean, he might have been selling ladies' underwear, and he's not going to get any business from me.
Where was he from? I mean, did he have an accent?
Yeah, he had a Scottish accent, but I don't think that he didn't dress or look like a local. He looked like somebody from at least Inverness or Edinburgh. No, he seemed like a rather odd fella. Left. He paid for his room and left without a word. In fact, I don't think any of us actually saw him leave. But he left. He left his check paid.
Out of character. So, and when did he check in relation to McDougal checking in?
He checked in probably the week before.
And then he left before McDougal arrived?
Well, probably right around the same time.
And did this Bannerman hint at where he was off to next for his cells?
Well, he didn't have much choice. He would be heading back along towards Halhane, and then I don't know from there. I mean, I have no idea.
Halhane, speaking of Halhane, I just saw a newspaper article over here about a rash of mutilations.
Well, look at that. Yeah, that's quite strange, isn't it? Wonder if they're all McDougals. Now it says here they're not McDougals.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. This is too much of a coincidence.
Very strange stuff. Probably the young ladies will have something to say about it. Shouldn't be too hard to find in Halhane. There can't be that many of them.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking, as we get back together, we should find out who he was doing a sales pitch to around here, and then some of us should check out, some of the ladies that got attacked. Maybe they were approached by a salesman.
As I recall, he was a little bit shifty.
Shifty salesman.
He seemed really interested in the legends about the tower as well. Like, I think he heard, one of the boys talking, and might have gone up there. I remember him coming down the stairs and going out in the late afternoon. That's the last I saw him.
Oh.
Next morning, I got up and I saw that his room was paid for and he was gone. Didn't sign out, just left. Took all of his stuff with him.
Oh.
I don't know. I can't tell you any more than that.
What time is it right now? About 3?
No, it's probably earlier than that. You guys just went to the church and the ruin and walked around for a few hours. It's probably more like you just had lunch. So we'll say 1 o'clock.
Should we try to find out more about who this salesman saw around this area? Seems kind of odd a salesman would come up this way and not give a sales pitch to someone.
Perhaps it's an elaborate ruse.
It could be.
Yeah, I think that's a fine course of action.
And then maybe some of us go to the other town and question some of those poor ladies and find out if they were given some wooing sales pitch.
That would be a very good use of our time. Perhaps we could limit ourselves to 2 nights.
All right. So I guess we're going to go around town to see if this salesman hit any of them up.
Are you splitting? Are some of you going into Halhane?
I think that might be a wise choice at this time point. What do you think, Oswald? And company?
I agree, Ethan. Why don't the two of us stay in town, and then Mr. Thorne, Detective O'Connor, and Professor Finch can go to Halhane.
It sounds like an excellent choice.
We can assume Malcolm has the car.
But Detective O'Connor, make sure you keep all the receipts for your stay in Halhane.
Absolutely, Oswald.
Well,
Maybe I'll have a couple extra even.
Yeah, I think we're hoping not to have to stay the night there.
It's just 10 miles down the road.
Balance the book.
Yeah, so we'll be back before it's nighttime. So.
All right. Shall we go around, Oswald, and glean some new information?
I'll be right behind you, sir.
Excellent. So we're going to go around and ask who had possibly seen this salesman, and did he give a sales pitch?
All right. Do a spot hidden, because it's like you're searching.
All right.
I got fell.
I actually got exactly a 27, so that's exactly what I needed.
Okay. You spend a few hours going up and talking to just about everybody that you can. And there's not a lot. You see, some people are out farming, some people are doing stuff. But you talk to quite a few people. Nobody was approached or talked to by any salesman in the last 2 months.
Well, Mr. Martin, either he's the worst salesman to ever walk the earth, or he wasn't actually here to sell anything. That's my
I agree with you there. That's suspicious. That's all right, Tim. Now, do you know a salesman that doesn't, even on his vacation, attempt to pitch? How many times have you and I have had to put up with that?
They knock on our door at our hall and very regularly. I always have to shoo them off our porch.
Well, even when I'm at the restaurant and they're supposedly eating and relaxing, they have to get their dang pitch. Can't I eat my, shepherd's pie or a good, Guinness
haggis.
pot pie or haggis? And then he had to say something. No, there's something suspicious about this, Oswald.
I agree.
So Mary, Malcolm, and Desmond, you hop in Malcolm's car. You drive 10 miles to Halhane. What would you like to do in Halhane? Where would you like to go?
Were we under the impression that these women attacked were sex workers?
I think so.
Kind of sounded like that. Yeah.
Yes.
They probably, and it mentioned that this was a district. So maybe if we ask around, we find out where these women are.
Do a luck
Sure, I
roll
can do
on
that.
one.
Okay.
Is that a group luck roll?
Let's have Malcolm do that.
Okay.
Okay, I say I do have probably the lowest luck at 41 currently. Let's see if I can manage to make myself
your money
sound
around,
like
Malcolm.
yeah. I'm trying to find out where the women are, but I also don't want to make myself look bad at the same time. So let's see if I can do that.
You're with another dude. And,
no, I got a 65.
Maybe you're asking the wrong people because you're getting some odd looks.
Yeah.
People like you want to know where the whorehouse is, I will say that even with that failure,
Yeah, could I maybe spend some credit rating or something?
We'll say that at some point, you get enough of, those.
Yeah.
And go in that direction, and where you come into a fairly, rundown part of town.
Also, if any of those people ask me my name, I'm gonna tell them my name is Malcolm Hawk.
Right. You come into an area that you're pretty sure this looks a little streetwalkery, and maybe with a few inquiries, you do find an area where there are a few houses with women who look a little. At this point in time, they're not really working. They're doing their laundry and things like that. But you have a suspicion. Maybe the other two do spot hiddens.
That's an 8. That's an extreme success. Yeah.
That's nice.
I got a hard success.
Oh, good. All right. Well, once again, Mary sort of taps you on the shoulder and points. And you see there is one woman hanging up her laundry. And she is having a bit of difficulty because her hand is bandaged as she's hanging it up.
Excuse me, miss. I walk up to her.
Yeah, look, I'm not working this time.
No, it's fine. I'll pay you for just a bit of conversation if you wouldn't mind. And I'll peel off a couple of bucks and hand them to her.
Always take a couple of bucks. What can I do for you?
I just wanted to inquire about your hand there, ma'am.
My hand?
Yeah, what, well,
It's been,
long story short.
Itching something awful.
Well, I've heard that's happened to you and a couple other girls in the neighborhood.
You read the newspaper.
Oh, yeah, I read the newspaper. I did.
Always nice to find somebody who can read.
It is. Well, let's just say I don't like hearing bad things happening to ladies like yourself. And I would like to help you all out and possibly find whoever might be responsible. That's why me and my friends are here, and I point over my shoulder.
Well, I can tell you what I told the police, what I told the doctor.
Okay, please do.
I was standing there, and this fella comes up, sort of, in the shadows. Some gentlemen don't like to be seen.
Obviously.
I'm always afraid it's going to be, it's like the Jack the Ripper thing, but we have certain risk. He comes up and propositions me, and of course I propositioned him back, and we went around behind the building. We were going to just do it there, and all of a sudden he put something over my face. And I remember struggling just a bit. And when I wake up, I'm laying in the alley and my hand is all bandaged up. Not very well, just wrapped up in cloth. It's got blood all over it. And apparently a couple of hours had gone by. I went to the doctor and he stitched me up. But it aches.
When you say it aches, what kind of ache?
There's moments when it's pretty bad, the pain, but I'm used to pain. I'm used to this. Not exactly the hoity-toity life where I don't have to deal with pain on a daily basis anyway. So more pain.
I understand. I do. Well, could you point out? So it was just the alley on the side of the building here.
It's around back here.
Okay.
She walks you over there.
All right. Well, could I ask a favor and ask that maybe you tell the other girls that nobody works this little area tonight, and I maybe set a little trap for our friend and see if he comes back?
Well, we got to work.
I know, and I promise it'd be worth your time if none of you get maimed any further, right?
Well, 4 of us have been attacked, but we'll just move to some other location then.
I appreciate it. It's quite the kindness. And not to be so forward, would you have something maybe more appropriate for a lady such as yourself who's working for my colleague here?
They don't care what you're wearing.
All right. That's fair. Fair enough. Well, thank you for your time, miss. And once again, I'm so sorry that you had to experience such a bad thing.
I wish I could tell you more. It was kind of shadowy.
Did he have an accent? Did he speak with an accent?
Scottish, like the rest of it. So no accent at all. Because if you're Scottish, it would sound like normal.
Was he large, small? Could you just no size remember?
Oh, he was a fairly good looking, good sized fella.
All right.
Hold on just a second, she says. Emily, come down here. What do you want now? Emily comes down. She also has a bandaged hand. She says, these fellas here are looking for trying to trap our strange finger bandit.
Yeah, I'll even pull a couple bucks and hand them for your time.
Do a spot hidden roll, all of you.
My generosity is not was not missed by the dice. I got a 15, so I succeeded.
Hard success again.
Failure on my end.
Emily's finger, it's a different finger.
It's not the ring finger.
It's not the ring finger on the right hand.
Which one is hers?
She's actually lost her index finger.
And is it not as clean a cut? Or is she bandaged?
Well, she's bandaged.
Okay.
She says, I hope you get the bastard. She says, but I can tell you one thing. He also had a missing finger.
You don't say.
Oh, yeah. It's the first thing
Which
I
finger
noticed.
was that?
It was his little finger missing.
Pinky?
Yeah.
It's just all the
finger.
digits now, isn't it? Oh, again, thank you both for your time.
Of course. All right. Want to do anything else in Halhane?
No, should we head back? Maybe get Ethan and Oswald if they want. It's not a very long drive. We have some time, I think.
I bet when we get back, those two are both 3 sheets to the wind in the inn, not having done any investigating. Oswald keeps all the money for drinking. I tell you, I know it. But yeah, I suppose we could go back.
And come back later tonight.
And as you said that, I'm walking out, I'm like, maybe I should double check the book sometime. That's probably a good idea, actually, now that I think about it.
He was also happy to let you foot the bill.
Maybe I shouldn't just hand him money.
All right. So,
this was a fine dinner, Oswald.
you guys all meet back up. We'll say it's about 6 o'clock in the evening. There's still plenty of light left for another hour and a half or so. What would you guys? You're back at the inn. What would you guys like to do? You've probably checked on Clarence. He's in the same state. In fact, maybe even a little worse.
I make sure to give David a break.
All right.
During that time point.
Yeah. So David has his break. But at some point, you guys are all back together.
Right. What do you make of all of these different fingers? We've got a man missing a pinky, Clarence missing a ring finger, a woman missing a ring finger, a woman missing an index finger. What do you think that's all about?
The one person with the wrong finger is making me a little suspicious.
What do you think? It's like a copycat?
Maybe, I don't know why anyone would do it, but maybe she's lying. I don't know. I mean, it just seems weird that we have all we've got 10 plus instances, all the same finger, and then she tells us a different story. I don't know.
She also said the man who accosted her was missing a different finger as well.
Yeah.
It is strange.
Could that be our salesman?
Possibly.
I don't remember any of the people that we've talked to saying that the man was missing a finger.
That's true.
I think that would have been pretty obvious.
Right.
Did we get a physical description of this gentleman? Tall, big.
Not much of anything.
Not much.
Scottish
Short, fat.
accent, so he's not an American.
Sounded normal. I've never heard a Scotsman sound normal.
Unless you are in Scotland there, Desmond.
I'm surrounded by him, and it sounds strange. Doesn't sound strange to you, Ethan?
I'm more of a, enjoying the moment type of person.
Oh, of course. When in Rome,
Exactly. You learn more this way.
you can drink some of that scotch with the peat in it and all that. But I think we've got two things that we could possibly do this evening. We could do a stakeout in the city with the ladies of the evening, or we could possibly stake out the tower ruins. It's 6 of one, half a dozen the other. I don't know if anybody feels more strongly.
Well, since we're near the inn and in this area, why don't we check out the ruins, and the next day we could do the other.
I
mean, we can. I don't know.
Stroke with all these extra nights.
I don't know.
You
if
do
we're
realize
gonna-
we're gonna have to stay an extra night at the hotel. Ethan.
Wow. That's why we're talking to you, Oswald. We don't want to.
I love how we booked a hotel for at least a couple days, and he's over here like, well, that's another day. We gotta. It's like, yes, that was the plan. But listen, I mean, do you really think someone's gonna come tonight though? Because I feel like what's happened there is already happened. Like, unless another person, another McDougal goes over there, I'm not sure if we're gonna witness anything.
Well,
I mean, you could say that about both locations, right? Like there hasn't been an attack on a woman every single night. So either way, it's kind of a...
Well, it is interesting. It's
Better
only
chances.
women. Except for our friend Clarence. So why don't we set up a surveillance tonight? And
How about a couple of us? Yeah, if we're gonna do the tower idea, a couple of us watch the tower, and maybe a couple watch Clarence. Well, I guess we could listen to Clarence from him. Never mind. We heard him last night.
Heard him
Yeah, also heard him last
groaning and
night.
groaning all night.
well, I tell you what. Since I know Clarence, I'll stay here, and a couple of you head to the tower and do it and that way we got it
Right.
covered. If I notice either David or Clarence leave, I should.
I'm confused. Do we think Clarence or David are the ones cutting off fingers?
I have no idea.
Why would we be surveilling them then?
Why not?
So surveil everybody. Just we're very paranoid.
No, but I mean, how many? We
Well,
don't really have many hours of avenues of investigation. But he's claiming.
I say we go in the woods and hold out our fingers and wait for something to happen.
I was saying, if we're gonna be here instead of in Hallahan, we might as well make use of it.
Certainly. I think I'd like to go in the woods. That's my preference. Or not the woods, but the tower. Nature.
Yeah, that's what.
whatever
Yeah,
you call
most
it.
of us are gonna go to the tower. Yeah.
But I say one of us should keep an eye on Clarence and what's going on
Yeah,
here.
you can. Yeah, you can.
Certainly.
Just to keep it sure that because we notice anything odd.
That Ethan, he's your friend. If you think something's odd about him, feel free to stay and watch.
Well, I think it's covering our bases. So I will stay at the end to keep an eye on the situation here, and I'll let the other four.
All right. Other four, how do you want to prepare?
Are we doing a stakeout, or are we wandering the ruins waiting for our fingers to just leap from our bodies?
No, I don't like that second idea. As much as I don't even think that's going to happen, but I don't like that second idea. What were you thinking, Detective? I mean, Desmond?
I was thinking about heading up to the tower and just kind of finding a nice spot to sit down and wait and see if anything happens. Maybe do a little patrol around the tower every so often. I mean, if there's more of us, we could spread out in a ring, possibly just be able to see
it is
a wider
huge
area.
Yeah, it's a huge area. So, okay.
Honestly, we're kind of shooting blindly. I mean, we just go up and see what we see.
All right. What sort of equipment do you want to take with you, or what do you guys want to do? As far as that goes?
Flashlights?
Yeah, a couple torches, but
Yeah.
A 38 revolver and a shotgun.
Who's got the 38 revolver?
I have both. It says.
Oh, okay. Actually, the shotgun is on your list because everybody up here has a shotgun.
Great.
So borrowing a shotgun, even just from the inn,
We'll get Mary one.
I have a 9mm. Do those exist?
You're a rich guy. You've got a fancy gun.
But
Oswald,
I may have grabbed your character sheet, not realizing that was on there.
I'll just assume it's a pistol. It's a D10
very,
pistol that
very
makes
small
sense.
pistol.
Yeah.
Yes, lead the way, detective.
All right.
Would you like us to get you a gun?
I would shoot my own finger off, to be honest. I'll just that would only complicate the investigation even more. So I'll just stick with what I have.
I like your dry wit.
That's fine.
So Ethan, you go up and you're kind of sitting with you're sitting with Clarence and David, and I don't know. You're doing something to pass the time and to try to keep Clarence. Clarence
Talking
takes
about
some
stories and
he tries, but you can see that he's still in a lot of pain.
right.
He's drinking. He's drinking to try to deaden the pain, but it doesn't do a very good job. The rest of you guys go up to the hill. It's still light when you get up there. But the shadows are growing, and the rock itself is already pretty dark. So as you're there, and the sky is changing color, it's going on sunset. The rocks are turning darker, and the shadows and features are starting to blend into the blackness. What are you guys? Are you guys doing anything in particular? Are you stationary? Are you moving about? Are you sitting in the dark? Are you? Flashlights back then aren't going to last more than an hour. Or so.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys? Describe your situation for me.
Spread out. You said it's a big area. So
it is
like
think football
right.
field size.
Football size, yeah.
So.
Well, perhaps we should pair up. It's not wise for us to split up
Yeah.
singly. So,
What do you think, Desmond?
That sounds good to me. 2 pairs.
Maybe do kind of walk the perimeter a bit, because there's no way that 2 groups are going to be able to monitor the whole place.
No.
Sitting
we can
still.
just-
So
Yeah.
if we keep moving, maybe.
Basically do a semicircle around it. So one pair starts at the bottom and walks up to the top. The other pair starts at the top, walks down to the bottom, and just turn around and repeat it. See what we see.
Maybe save the batteries and save the flashlights for if we hear something.
It's
Well,
too heavy.
you get a flash of where you're walking so that you don't trip, and then you turn it off and you walk more.
Okay.
Yeah, I get it. So how are you pairing up?
I guess
Maybe the people with guns should pair with the people that can't shoot guns.
That's what I was saying. 1 gun in each group, at least.
and then I'll be with Mr. Thorne and Detective
All right.
with the professor.
Sure.
Sounds
All right. So you guys are wandering back and forth, and you're looking at stuff. Mary, do a spot hidden as you're going.
Oh no, that's a 94.
Okay. So the ground is a little bit soft, probably from sprinkles in the morning or something. You guys are apart. You guys aren't all standing in the same area. Malcolm and Oswald, do a listen roll.
Success.
Okay. How about you, Malcolm?
I know I also failed because I got 71.
Okay. So Malcolm, you're you're sort of looking around.
Yeah.
Oswald, as you're walking with Malcolm, you hear something. You're not sure if it sounds like maybe a rabbit was out there and sort of moved away. You flash your flashlight and don't see anything. You guys take a few more steps as you're going, and this sound sort of wells up around you, Oswald. It sounds kind of like that. And as it does, something reaches up and knocks the flashlight out of your hand. And you probably yelp, in fright. Malcolm, you sort of see something confusing going on for just a moment.
Okay.
And Oswald, you suddenly feel a sharp pain in your middle finger on your left hand. And
got my finger.
You yell.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to shine my torch as soon as I can, at him.
All right. Malcolm, do a luck roll.
Oh, geez. All right, here we go. Oh, yeah, 29. Pass.
All right.
Mary and Ethan, you are quite a ways away, maybe 50 feet away, but you suddenly hear them yelping and making noise. Malcolm, what you see is, it's hard to describe. It looks like a hairy, naked, human-esque sort of thing. It's emaciated. It's low to the ground. It has long fingernails and sort of stands up on its haunches. But the thing that terrifies you is its head. It is just sort of a skull shape with a huge mouth that comes back and big, gigantic, human-like teeth, much over, but no eyes or nose or anything like that. And it's got, you only see this for a split second. It's got blood streaming down its face. Oswald is grabbing his hand, and like a running rat, it just scampers over the rocks very quickly, and it's gone. You can do a sanity roll.
Yeah, I'd say sanity. I'm guessing I don't have an opportunity to shoot it then, or
you're so frightened and terrified at that moment that it's gone before you.
I got you. I passed. I got 24. So.
Okay, I still think you should do a 1d4.
1d4. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
1d4 plus 1. We'll just.
So 4 in that case.
Right. I don't see sanity on my character sheet.
It should be right under the characteristics.
Is it 5099? Is that?
There should be an entire box.
There's a whole
says
box
sanity
going across.
Yeah.
Well, I see the box. I don't know.
There should be a circle.
What's
It
my
should be a
starting
circle.
point?
It's the 59.
It should be a circle. It should be a circle.
His might not be marked. So
Yeah, I don't see. So 59,
it's 59.
okay.
If it says 59 over 99.
The first number.
59.
It's 59.
So I took 4.
I failed.
All right. Yeah. Also, I think you should also do a 1d6. Maybe you glimpse the thing for a moment. I'm sorry. 1d4. I meant 1d4.
Would Desmond and Mary be able to start running towards them?
Oh yeah, and you hear screaming. You guys turn your
Yeah.
flashlights on, obviously.
And it's gone by the time we get there.
It's gone.
Yeah, I'm probably I'm shining my flashlight all around. Like God, I'm just like, where'd it go? Where'd it go?
Malcolm's turn. White.
Did it get my finger?
Where'd it go?
Yes, your finger is missing and you are bleeding.
Oh my God! I bit my finger off.
Where'd it go?
Jesus Christ.
It ran off. I'm worried it's going to come after
Which
us
way
again.
did it go?
How am I gonna
Malcolm,
use
which
the
way did
activist?
it go?
It scampered over
the book
scampered
down.
off.
You said it went over the rocks?
It scampered over.
Would that be into the ruins, Tom?
Yes.
Okay. Well, fuck. All right. I suppose we
Do we try to go
need
after
to
it,
go after it.
Desmond?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to go after it.
Okay. I'm taking
Oh,
off my heels
jeez.
and going. Yeah.
Yeah, what about Oswald?
Oswald will head back to town. I mean, I don't think you're going to lose enough blood to pass out or anything on your way.
Oh yeah, just catch up with Ethan. I gotta cover Desmond's back.
Ethan, you are upstairs with Clarence, but you keep glancing out the window because you can see the ruins, at least the shape of the ruins, off in the distance. And there's a moment when you suddenly see flashlights doing this, all over the place. And a few moments later, Oswald, are you heading back to the place?
Does he hear my yelling and screaming?
Not quite, because you've got the window closed and you're.
Okay, so these three head off towards the center. I'm holding my hand and walking back towards the end.
Eventually, Ethan, you see him coming down the road, holding his hand, kind of trotting because he's trying to get there quickly. Desmond needs to remember to unmute when he says something.
It wasn't anything important. I was just like that background chatter.
We just keep seeing you doing that, like a Godzilla movie. Desmond is trying to scramble up and over the stones looking for something. Do a dex roll.
All right, that is a hard success. So I got a 29.
You come close to hurting yourself a couple of times, but you manage to keep from doing it. But you don't see anything. Whatever it is gone. You do see some spots of blood here and there.
Can I follow them?
You see a few, and you can't really find the trail. You don't know where it went. But you do sort of have a general idea that it went back in that, area of the ruins.
So deeper into the ruins?
Yes.
I continue forward.
Okay.
I still think it's a fucking wolf or something.
Mary and Malcolm. Mary, Malcolm, and Oswald's coming back. Mary and Malcolm, what are you guys doing? Desmond is left here.
Well, wait. But how did he get down?
No, Desmond has climbed up. He's trying to follow the thing.
Oh, okay. I mean, after that I'm gonna climb up after him. After that, I make sure he got up there safe.
Okay. And
I
Mary?
think I will too. Yeah, I'm going to take off my heels and start
Okay.
climbing up as well.
Both of you can do dex rolls.
45 should be. Yes, out of 50. Yep. So 45 success.
Okay.
Hard success.
Okay, so you're managing not to hurt yourself on the rocks. Ethan, well, you now see Oswald come running up to the end, holding his hand, and there's obviously blood on it. Ethan, what do you want to do?
I'll go downstairs to see how he's doing. See what happened.
Because
What happened?
I found the foul beast. It bit my finger off, and ran back towards the ruins.
So what bit your finger off?
I saw it, right? I saw the same thing.
you didn't see it as well as he did. It
Okay.
was, he shined it, but you were busy, grabbing your hand.
It wasn't a wolf or a dog. It was bigger than that. I didn't see it very well.
Well, I guess I help him. Do you need me to take you to the doctor?
Why? Yes, I think I should see the doctor.
All right.
My finger's missing.
Innkeeper, I do believe that
He'll
if
call
you
ahead.
could,
Yeah.
call ahead. Thank you.
And of course, he's surprised. And
Yeah, so am I. And I'm just like, and I will borrow Malcolm's car and drive poor Oswald to the hospital.
no, to the doctor.
To the doctor. Yeah.
All right, so you guys are doing that. Desmond, do a spot.
Try faster.
Regular success.
The other two are a few yards behind you as they're going. You come to a place where you can see that a number of stones have been, it looks like they've been dug up. They have like fresh bits of dirt still on them, and they've been rolled to the side. And in amidst this pile of rocks, there is a hole going down into the ground. It's only about 3 feet across, and it just goes down into a darkness.
It's just black.
Yeah, and there's also a rather nasty smell that's coming out of the hole.
Does it smell like death, kind of, or like decay, or?
Yeah, maybe something rotting, but a dirt smell and a decay smell. The other two come up behind you.
I'll point it out. Looks like we found it's the entrance to its home.
Jesus.
Mary and Malcolm do spot hidden rolls.
The hell is this thing? 33, so I failed.
I'll spin the luck. I'll spin luck. It's a failure, but I'll spin the luck on it.
All right, Mary. There's a couple of things that you notice. There are, once again, some splashes of what may have been blood, but older, not fresh. You definitely see a couple of splashes of fresh from this incident that just occurred. But you also notice that there are some odd little indentations in the ground, not too far from the hole. And it takes you a second to realize what they are, because you're kind of seeing like a shape about like that, kind of pointed, and then like a little hole. Mm-hmm. And you realize they look like high-heeled shoes, like the ones you were wearing, like a woman was here in high-heeled shoes. And there are also men's shoes around here as well. Like there have been people here. You'll also notice that some of these dig marks, like for moving these blocks, were done with a shovel. Like somebody was trying to dig something up and moved some of these blocks and found this hole.
What if we just put the block over the hole? That thing can rot down there with all of its little fingers. Although the way Clarence was talking about it, it was like chewing on his phantom finger. I don't know.
That would not be good for Clarence. That would not be good for him. I mean, oh God. What are you thinking, Desmond? I mean, do we try to follow it? Oh God.
No, I'm not going down in that fucking hole.
But we know where it is. Maybe we could stake it out and see if it comes out.
Yeah, but I mean, did Mary pointed out all the stuff she was seeing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very curious as to all the heavy traffic going on here. I mean, like, you figure.
Do a spot hidden for me, Desmond. This is sort of analyzing what you
Regular success.
Okay. The women's shoes are different. The men's shoe is the same shoe over and over again. You don't see any variation in the men's choose.
The women choose different. Men choose different. So it's just one man and several different women. Like our missing finger victims, essentially. Matches.
Yeah.
I mean, we've several women and one man.
But
Well, it's 2 men though, right? A man missing his pinky and Clarence.
if
Right.
that girl was telling us the truth.
If the
Yeah, but I mean,
truth.
Clarence has been holed up in that hotel room for a couple weeks now since it happened, right?
I think so, yeah.
And he didn't follow us up here. I mean, so unless somehow him being a McDougal makes him different
Maybe.
than the others. And so he doesn't, I don't know. I feel like we're missing a piece.
Well, now it's taken, but it took Oswald's finger too.
Maybe we
So it's
watch
not-
Oswald.
I don't know. It's not just women or not just McDougal's.
It took Oswald's middle finger, didn't it?
Oh, did it? I didn't notice in all the craziness.
Yeah.
Huh.
I wonder if maybe, I don't know.
Maybe the finger doesn't matter. Maybe it's just whatever finger it can get.
Huh? Maybe like prefers the ring finger, but it's more of like any port in the storm finger
Opportunistic,
guy
Yeah.
or thing, whatever. I'm not too. I don't know. I suppose we should probably head back and we can
Check
possibly
on
plan more. Unless either of you want to go down there.
No.
Yeah, I thought.
I'm good on that.
No, I think if anything, we could always wait. Maybe not tonight, but monitor. We know where it's coming out of. I think.
I mean, the batteries in the flashlights will last a little bit longer. I suppose if you guys are up for it, we could wait here a while before we head back and see if anything comes out.
Okay. I'm sure Ethan can take care of
All
it.
right, sure.
Sure. You're gonna stand there with a gun pointed at a hole, just waiting.
Yep. Hey, this is actually not. This is funny. This is funny. This is actually not that different from hunting. Just standing there waiting for something to come out.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So, Ethan, you managed to get Oswald to the doctor who's waiting for you. And he's like, what is going on? This is like the 7th finger that I've had to fix in the last few weeks.
7th, you say?
Well, I mean, there's the last one was the Mr. McDougal who came in. There's you now. There's the 3 ladies. There's that fella that came in. He's probably like the first one that came in. That was a
Now,
while
who is
back.
that?
What was his name? Bannerman, I think was his last name. So what is
Salesman,
going on?
right?
How is everybody? I don't know what he did for a living, but let's get you fixed up. So Oswald, as you are being stitched up, your finger kind of went numb on the way here. Doctor stitches that. He gives you general anesthetic and stitches it up, and don't feel anything. But in the car, coming back to Dunville, you suddenly get a sharp pain in your hand.
This is going back.
This is as you're going back to Dunville. Yeah,
So this is a few hours later.
it's not 2 hours. It's 10 miles away.
Well, we're at the hospital for a bit. They wrap up my hand, then we head back.
Correct. You're on your way back. He stitched it up and cleaned it up and everything. But you suddenly start getting a twitch, and it feels like something has a hold of your missing finger and it's fiddling with it. And then all of a sudden, it starts gnawing on your finger and you can feel it and it hurts like fuck.
And this is my left middle finger?
Your left middle finger.
Ethan, good God, I could feel my finger. Something's chewing on it.
Just like Clarence.
Yes. Ugh. That's terrible.
I am sorry, Oswald.
You guys pull back up to the inn, and I assume you go inside, and the others are there. You all see that his hand is bandaged up, but he is twitching, like something is actively doing something to his hand. What do you guys do?
Oh
You
God,
too,
you
Oswald?
you doing all right?
No, I'm not. I can still feel it, just like McDougal was saying. I feel like something's chewing on my finger.
I've never seen anything like that. I don't know what what this thing is.
So what did you see? As I put out a notebook, a document.
Actually, wait. I have 30 drawing. I'll try to draw what I saw.
I think I forgot to get a receipt at the hospital.
Hey, 22. So it's not a terrible drawing.
You draw something that, as you're drawing it, they're like recoiling, and Jesus Christ, this skull thing with these big gigantic teeth, almost gopher-like, except that they look more human than that. And I think those of you who didn't, well, you can all do sanity rolls as he's drawing this out.
All right.
Everybody?
Yeah.
Yes.
You asked me to draw.
Well, not Malcolm. Malcolm's already done it, but
Poor Malcolm.
I failed.
Success.
Pass.
if you pass, just 2 points of damage.
Okay.
If you
2 points of
failed,
sanity.
if you failed, 1d4.
Yeah, I clicked my flashlight on as quick as I could to try to see what the hell was going on with Oswald. That's what I saw, and I tried to bring my gun up to shoot it, but the thing was gone before I had the chance to aim.
Oswald, you can feel it manipulating your finger, and you can feel like the prickles of its fingernails, and then it starts nibbling again. Right down to the bone, you can feel it.
Make it stop.
We need what do we do? We have to stop this from happening. We saw where it kind of scampers into. What do we just revisit history, drop a stick of dynamite down there and blow it all to hell?
It must be out there chewing on my finger right now.
We have two options. One, because we can't just close up the hole, because then these people are going to be miserable for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
So we have to get the fingers,
Okay,
or be sure that the thing is dead.
someone give me a gun. I'm going to go up there myself and shoot the damn thing.
You told us you would shoot your finger off.
Well, my finger's already gone, so I don't have to worry about
You don't
that
want to lose
anymore.
another finger. Listen. What if, I think you're right, Mary. What if we go up there, we get some explosives, something, and we just blow that fucking hole to high heaven and kill that thing inside there?
I don't know where we're going to get explosives, though, Malcolm. That's the only thing. Don't feel like that's
What
easily
is
acquired.
Is there like a mine, or if we maybe we could do something with fertilizer?
You start asking around for explosives, and then a few days later, a big explosion happens, and people know where to point the fingers.
I will be gone by then. I'll grease their palms.
Tom, how is
unbearable.
the bartender innkeeper reacting to all of this?
He's right there with you, listening to everything you're saying.
Right.
Horrified.
Horrified. Okay. He doesn't seem like shifty or like anything like that, right? Okay.
He's like, what the fuck? Yeah.
All right. This is unbearable. Someone give me a gun, please.
Here you go, Oswald.
All right, now
I'll hand him a 38.
So I pull this and I point it towards the bad guy, right?
You point it as what you want to die or hurt, and yes, pull the trigger.
I still think we should look into finding explosives. I mean, we could drive somewhere and, purchase some, grease someone's palms, get some mining explosives, come back.
It's late at night. We couldn't do it until tomorrow. Anyway,
I can't wait until tomorrow. You guys have your round table. I'm going up there right now to shoot.
You're gonna go in there and that thing is gonna fucking eat you.
He shouldn't go alone. If he's heading out the door, we should go with him.
I'm headed out the door.
We should not go into this thing's hole. We should.
I'm right behind Oswald.
Oh, I hate you too, and I'm following.
Well,
hate you.
Malcolm, grab a bottle of alcohol and a cloth. We can at least do some improvised weapons here if we need to.
That foul beast messed with the wrong accountant. Let me tell you.
Yeah, okay. It's a good idea, Mary. Alcohol for steal our nerves. Yes.
That was the finger that when you're doing your accounting, you're going, turning the page. Now you'll never be able to do that again. All right. So I heard alcohol.
Yeah, I was thinking like an improvised Molotov. They didn't call them Molotov cocktails then, but
what's unfortunate is I don't think those have been invented.
Yeah, I was saying I don't think they called them that at the time.
We call it the Finch Special.
I think this actually came up in a game before.
Oh, they're called fire bombs.
Yes.
Because it was actually in 1939 in Finland. I just looked this up, where Molotov cocktails were first invented. However, in the Spanish Civil War and previous wars, they used fire bombs, which was essentially the military version of a Molotov. Yeah.
There's a bar here. Let's at least grab a bottle of alcohol and a rag. Let's go.
Yeah, I'll grab one as well, or I will purchase one.
So I'm like Ash in the Evil Dead with my hands cut off.
Alcohol, like towels here.
All right. So you guys head back up the hill towards the ruins in the dark. Very interesting.
Yeah.
All right. What are you going to do?
Heading towards the hole, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now, Oswald doesn't know where the hole is. We don't have to show him where the hole is.
I think he's using pain as some sort of radar.
I can feel my finger.
Can we at least wait until the morning? Maybe that's when it's sleeping.
This pain is unbearable. I can't wait until the morning.
For God,
can't
drink until you pass
drink
out.
Until the morning? Yeah.
No, I have to take care of it now. I can feel this beast gnawing on my finger.
All right, let's go firebomb and shoot this thing then.
Oh, God.
Okay. So,
but think of the interesting story. Maybe it can talk. Maybe we can find out more.
We're not going to find out anything from that thing. If we see it, we're killing it.
All right.
This thing wants fingers, okay? It's very clear. Sorry.
Are you going to show Oswald where the hole is?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Oswald has 9 more. He can lose a couple more and still count.
Oswald, I mean, they take you to the hole.
And
you are confronted by a black hole in the ground. And
Smell it, Oswald. Smell the rotting flesh.
It looks like a tunnel going down. And it's going down at about a 50 or 60 degree angle downwards.
All right. I will do your taxes for the next 5 years if someone with a flashlight goes with me.
You can have my flashlight.
Let's say, we all have torches.
I can't very well carry them.
But
you got a gun in one hand and a flashlight in the other.
Yeah.
Why don't we just stake it out again, see if it comes out tonight? You don't need to go into its lair.
We could firebomb down in there.
Oh God.
It might draw it out.
Ah, there you go. And then hit it with the other one, or shoot it, or both.
Hey, fine, drop your firebomb into that hole. See what happens. If it comes out, I swear to God, I'm shooting the damn thing.
Yeah, who's got a good? Anybody got a good throwing arm?
No.
Base.
You just drop it. Just drop it
I
in
guess,
the hole.
Can we use like Dex or something in that case?
It's
or?
not cricket, Malcolm. Just drop it in the hole.
But yes, whatever. I guess I'll do it if somebody wants to just hand it to me. I'll try to, light one up and just try to chuck it down there as far as I can.
Okay. Because you do that, it lights up. Obviously.
Yeah, so it's like going, and then I throw it. And
Before the thing explodes, you see that the tunnel goes down, like I said, about a 60-degree angle, maybe about 8 or 9 feet, and then the tunnel turns horizontally.
right. So I'm just trying to chuck it.
But it's
into
all
there.
about the same. It's about 3 feet wide, going down. So when you chuck it, you're going to hit the turn
Right.
with the bottle, and it explodes right there. And there's flames shooting up out of the hole, and then they start to burn down a little bit, and then eventually they stop. They burn for a couple of minutes and then stop.
All right, it's deep in there.
Looks like we may have to go in.
Or we try to entice it out. We talked about decoys before. What about more decoys? We're ready for it now. We know what it looks like.
Oswald, show him more fingers.
Oh God, it's like I still feel it. I
Oh,
can't.
one more won't hurt.
And
You have
Oswald,
the
you
gun.
can tell that it's getting worse.
It's all right. What would it look like if we crawled down in the hole? Like, would we have to crawl into the hole? Would we be able to walk? Would we?
What are your sizes?
50.
65.
50.
60. I'm 60. I'm kind of tall, I guess.
It'll be a little bit of a squeeze for Desmond, but the rest of you should be able to go down the hole. You'll have to go either head first or feet first. So you can be sliding down forward, or you can go feet first. If you go feet first, don't really have any. If something grabs you,
I don't
you
like
won't be
this at
able to do
all.
much. You're in a hole.
Oswald, you can tell this is a bad idea. We should not be doing this.
Yeah, I can't. I can't help you if you want to go in there. I can't.
Yeah, so my trusted companions are going to return to the hotel to have catch a good night's sleep.
Oswald, if you go in, I'll follow you at least.
Thank you, Ethan.
Bad.
You understand that? So you want to feed this thing your heads is what I'm getting this correct, because you want to go in there.
Oswald has a gun, and I'll have this bottle here.
I have a shotgun.
If I go in, I'll be
he's-
like a cork.
Oh.
So I don't think this is a good idea.
You're not going to have any room to throw the thing, Ethan.
Oh, my finger hurts so much.
What if this is just a burrowing creature and the whole thing is just a long tunnel and it doesn't open out into anything else, and you're just going to be stuck in a tunnel just like this, and you're going to be trapped?
Are there still residual flames on the bottom of the tunnel, like illuminating?
They're pretty much out. Yeah.
Okay. Someone give me a flashlight. I'm going in.
Yeah, I mean, we have torches. Yeah, you've got a torch.
Oswald, head first or feet first?
I'm going in head first.
Torch.
Head first.
Lunacy.
Balls of steel, friend.
I will go with Ethan because I'm not about to let him go by himself.
Do you know how hard it is to find a good accountant in this goddamn country?
All
Look,
the
the
reason
three
to
of
come
us-
with me to keep me safe.
Why don't the three of us walk the perimeter? Because maybe this thing has a couple of different holes around here. Maybe we can keep
I
an eye
didn't
out
see
for it.
anyone
if it
walked
comes out.
earlier, but I mean,
Somebody's got to wait at this hole, though.
All right.
What if we got to pull out like half of one of them or something?
Okay. All right. You're right.
I mean, we didn't see any other holes earlier, so
So
Okay.
Oswald, you get down on your hands and knees, and you sort of lean forward and shuffle yourself. So now you're your head and your torso are going over the edge and down the hole. Is anybody doing anything to assist Oswald?
Yeah, I am.
All right, what are you doing?
I'm trying to brace his feet so he has some.
All right. Well, he eventually gets to the point where you have to you're holding onto his feet.
Yeah.
You know? But like he's at this angle now, so
Yeah.
you can't go forward unless you let him go. And Oswald, you can't quite see around the corner yet.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to let you go, Oswald. If you want to go further, then I'll follow you.
All right.
Keep going.
So
All right, then let him go.
Why don't you just shout? If you see it, all right, just shout.
You let him go, and Oswald, you slide another couple of feet, and you hit the angle and slide around, and you can see that the tunnel only goes another couple of feet, and then it opens up into an underground area. You shine a light around with your flashlight, and what you're seeing is possibly an underground, an old basement for this the tower. There are places in the ceiling where it's collapsed, and there are places where it's obviously compacted with rock from probably the dynamite explosion. But there are also places where you can see where it's been sort of dug out, not by, shovel. So you're in a large chamber, and you can see that there are like 3 passageways. There's the left, the right, and the center that lead out of this area. But the whole thing is only about 5 feet high where you are. So you can't quite stand up. But this room, there doesn't seem to be anything in this room.
So I'll help Ethan
Yeah, I follow.
into the cavern. Then.
All right. And they relate to you what they're saying.
Yeah, there seems to be some cavern down here.
We just go then.
I suppose. Yeah.
Oh God.
I set up I will let Oswald cover in the cavern, and I will assist each person coming down.
Okay. The only one there's actually without modifying the hole, Desmond probably won't fit, or he'll get stuck in the process.
Yeah.
Shite.
Can we modify it? Something
Too many scones.
Well, you'd have to go get shovels, and you'd have to.
Well,
Desmond,
then,
why don't we just stay out here? Keep watch. If something happens, we can be up here.
That sounds good
that
to
might
me.
be
Mary.
I'm not telling you not to go down there. I'm just telling you.
Right.
No, but I mean,
All right.
we didn't bring a shovel. And yeah.
Maybe
I
we should
guess
just go get shovels.
Yeah.
Well, go get a shovel then, Malcolm.
It's
I'm not leaving. Oh my God.
Just go down in the hole. It'll be fine.
Oh my God. It's not.
It'll be the 3 of us, Malcolm. And the other
I'm
2 will
going.
help
I'm
us out.
going. I'm going.
All right.
Mr.
So,
Impatient.
Sometimes you have to get your hands dirty, Malcolm.
so Malcolm is going down,
Yeah, I'll join him in the hole.
and Mary, were you going to go down?
I'll stay with Desmond. I don't think anyone should be alone.
All right. So Mary and Desmond, you are up above, shining the light down in the hole, and you can hear them. They're not that far away. They're just, it's as if you were at the top of the staircase and they were at the bottom.
Mhm.
Right.
All right, Ethan, Malcolm, and Oswald. There are 3 ways you can go: forward, sideways, or left or right.
I'll hold this flashlight for the other 2 since they have guns.
And I have both of us. We both have pistols, so we can all hold flashlights.
All right.
Okay.
Center cave.
Okay. All right. You start to move towards the center. There's definitely a foul odor in here.
Smell the fingers.
Yeah, and it's definitely, the smell is getting stronger as you're heading down this particular passage. It doesn't go far. It sort of narrows a little bit, but it starts to open up. I'd like you all to do Dexterity rolls.
15. All my terrible rolls earlier because they were all here. I'll take
Success.
Success.
it. That's a hard for me.
Regular success.
All right. So as you're moving forward, you manage to keep from knocking down any debris or anything like this. This doesn't look very safe. It definitely looks like at any minute the whole thing could collapse. But you come into an area where the smell of more like fecal matter starts to get stronger. And you notice that there's something scattered on the ground, not too far away. And as you get a little closer, you're pretty sure they're small bones.
Finger bones.
Finger bones.
I guess we're in the right
I
place.
think we found its lair.
They look quite old. They're white, and they are covered in gnaw marks.
Any fresh finger bones?
No fresh ones here.
And so we can keep going, or is this the terminus of
You
the...
can go a little bit farther, but then there's been collapses and things like that. You can't get any farther than that. There's no other passages leading out.
Okay, let's head back to
But this
the...
definitely looks like the collection of an animal.
So, and how many, roughly, a few dozen?
A few dozen. Yeah.
2 dozen, okay. Oh, good Lord. So, okay, let's go back to the junction and we'll go down the left-hand path.
All right. So you move back into the main part. Once again, I'd like you to do dex rolls.
Okay. 23. So still a hard success.
Failed.
Success.
Okay.
Regular.
So Ethan and Malcolm, you move into the central chamber, and Oswald is shining his light around. And Oswald sort of puts his hand on something to keep himself steady. The ground is rough. And as he does, a rock comes loose. And there is a minor little cave in, not much rock, not anything to hurt you, but it makes noise. And you guys all freeze, and you're standing there for a moment, and you start to hear something. Sounds like it's far away, but it sounds like something moving around. Like
crap.
From which tunnel?
Well, from where you are, you're still sort of halfway in the tunnel that you were in. So it's coming from out here somewhere. You're not really sure. You said you were going to go to the left.
Yep.
So you come out and you don't see anything and you don't hear anything, but you're pretty nervous. When you move over to the left, there's a small chamber that attaches, and in the center of the chamber, there is what looks like an old well.
Well,
not in great condition, but a well.
I wonder if this is the well they talk about.
it must be.
Did they say they found gold or nearby?
Yeah, gold.
Is the sound coming from that area?
It's not. It's
Let's
now
examine the well.
Right.
So, like,
The well, it's
deep
about
in the
6
water?
feet across. It is black and slimy. And when you shine the light down, you can see that the water is maybe 10 feet below you, and it is black and slimy looking. You can't really see down into it.
and this is just a dead end.
Correct. There's no other way to go. You hear something that sounds, your first impression is almost the sound of rats, something moving about. And it's now, at this point, it's It's definitely coming from that other tunnel.
I want to get ready to light that bottle.
I'm ready.
All right.
Back to the junction and down the right tunnel.
All right. Well, you're back in the main room. Make a dex roll. I'm going to see if you make any noise.
Failed.
42 regular success again.
Regular success.
All right.
A regular success this time, actually. Yeah.
I think that what Oswald does at some point is he goes,
Yeah.
yes, and makes a noise. And when he does, you suddenly start to hear this.
That's it. That's the sound.
But I would like do a knowledge roll.
Everybody?
Yeah.
45. So regular.
Hard success.
So is that, you mean like intelligence or?
Yeah, your
No.
intelligence.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Hard success.
no is EDU. Ideas intelligence.
Yeah.
I got a success.
Okay. There's more than one thing making that noise.
Shit.
So we're in the main cavern
Right.
with the three, and then we hear this noise coming.
You've got the tunnel that goes up and out, and ahead of you is the final tunnel, and you're hearing noise coming from there. And something in the dark down the tunnel is scrambling, and you suddenly see 3 of these blind, two-faced things shuffling along the ground and moving out into, about to come out into the room where you are. Malcolm, do a spot hidden for me.
Okay. Nope. 88.
Throw the bottle, Malcolm.
That's good.
I'm not the one with the bottle.
Ethan's the one with the bottle.
Oh, Ethan, throw that bottle.
You can all do sanity rolls before that.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're seeing these things.
Oh, 15. I would have loved that on the spot hidden.
04.
You failed,
Stream.
Oswald?
I got success.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah.
1d4 if you succeeded.
All right.
3 more for me.
4 more.
Did you guys say anything or yell anything or
Holy-
freak out or?
I'm like, maybe we should get out of here and regroup.
The things start moving, and they start moving rather quickly, and you think there might be more of them back there. What are you guys going to do?
So yeah, I'm like, throw the bottle, and then I think I'm gonna start going to head up the tunnel because I'm like, we got to get out of here and regroup. There's too many.
I throw the bottle.
And
I'm
then
heading up. I'm
and then
going up.
as once he throws the ball, I'm going to shoot the shotgun in that direction.
Okay.
I'm going up.
Oh my word. And 05. So
Okay.
on target.
So you hit one of these. You hit the lead creature with the bottle, and it shatters and bursts into flame. And the creature it opens up its big toothy mouth and starts screeching and writhing around. Other creatures don't seem to be affected by the distress of their comrade. They continue moving forward. Oswald raises his gun. Go ahead and do a the firearms roll.
Rifle shotgun. All right.
Yeah.
I will spend 1 luck point to make it a success.
Hey.
All right.
26.
It's a shotgun. It's going to hit something. Go ahead and
Shotgun
roll for damage. What kind of a shotgun is it?
I say, how far away? Also,
At
They're
this
not that
time,
far
it's-
away.
Yeah, it's close. It's
so it'll be
46.
it's either 4d6 or 3d6 if it's the low caliber one, but it's probably 4d6 given.
46.
It's like
Yeah,
46.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to have to pull up a dice roller here. I don't have the.
What Oswald didn't realize, and what you guys didn't think about, was when that shotgun goes off in this closed space underground, you guys are fucking deafened.
Yeah, I'm already making my way up the tunnel.
All right.
As soon as I threw that bottle, I'm getting the heck out.
Malcolm has run for the tunnel. The tunnel is about 7 or 8 feet up. You can't get a hold of anything. Of course, the other two on the outside, you now hear everything going on.
Oh fuck! All right. Are there? It's, how long is the tunnel? You said
it's 7 or 8 feet down, and then it curves. So Malcolm is struggling, but there's no way to really climb up it. It's fairly smooth.
Desmond, if I can fit in the hole. You hold on to my legs.
Certainly.
Maybe then Malcolm can grab my arms and you can pull us both up.
Sounds good to me.
All right. So you guys going to try that maneuver?
Yeah.
All right. Meanwhile, how did you do, Oswald? How much
18 damage on the dice.
Very nice. I think your blast hits one of these things in the head, and its head explodes, and it drops to the ground.
As soon as I threw the bottle, I'm running back, and I'm helping push Malcolm forward.
Helping push Malcolm forward.
I'm reloading if Desmond gave me extra shells.
All right. Yeah, you probably have extra shells.
If it's a barrel, you still have another barrel.
You guys
Okay,
are all
sure.
have sharp pains in your heads from the sound.
Oh, yeah, but I'm just going.
And these things continue to go. Oswald, since you're still there, do a spot hidden for me.
Success.
Okay.
Success.
You notice that the creature, because, it blew its head off when it falls to the ground and rolls sort of to its side, it's also missing a finger.
Yeah.
Like Desmond. All right. So, Mary, you've gotten down on your hands and knees. You're leaning down to grab a hold of Malcolm. Ethan, you are pushing on Malcolm. And Desmond, you're trying to help Mary you're kind of making the human chain.
Yeah,
pulling on her ankles.
Desmond, do a spot hidden roll.
All right, 14. So that's a hard success.
All right,
that's a extreme success. Or yeah.
Desmond, you've reached down and you've got a hold of Mary's legs, and Mary, you reach down and you grab a hold of Malcolm, and you start to try to extricate Malcolm from the hole. And Desmond, you see something out of the corner of your eye, and just as you turn your head, there is a man standing there with a shovel in his hand, and he is bringing it down on your head. Do a dodge roll.
Okay.
Never trust the locals.
That is a success.
All right. You managed to roll. You let go of Mary, though, and Mary slides down on top of Malcolm. So her feet are kind of sticking out of the hole. And this you don't recognize this guy, but you do notice that he has a missing finger. And he is violently going to try to beat you to death with that shovel. What do you want to do? I mean, he's at close range, so you could grapple it and fight with
Yeah, I'll try and throttle this bastard.
all right. Go ahead and roll your brawl.
All right, hard success.
All right, and I got an 80. So
All right.
you wrench the thing out of his hand and probably swing it at him.
Yeah.
What would that be? A club, I guess. 1d8 plus your damage bonus if you have one.
All right. So
Big enough lug.
4 damage bonus.
Stop fooling around, Malcolm and Mary.
That's
Get outta
7
here.
altogether.
Oh, good hit. Bannerman. Okay. You hit him good, right across the head. And he falls back, and you see him reaching for something on his side. And he's pulling out what looks like a big old Bowie knife.
No, you don't. And I'll try and bring the shovel down
So you're fighting
just as hard as I
All right.
possibly can. All right. So it's a success again.
How good of a success?
Just over a hard, but I can spend some luck.
Well, okay, because I got a 5.
Oh, well, shite. All right. So
you'd have to get an extreme.
So how much luck? Sorry, 1 second. So I would have to get a 1 or just a
No, you just have
an
to get an extreme.
just an extreme. So
So
Your extreme beats his extreme because you're doing
if
an
I
attack.
1/5 of your. It should be on your sheet. 1/5 of your pool.
yeah, no, I know. I just didn't know if I had to go all the way down to like a 1 to beat his. That's all. Yeah, I'll spend it. I'll spend 21 luck. And
All right.
make that.
So you manage once again to hit him pretty hard with the shovel. Go ahead and roll for damage.
It's an 8.
8. You bring the blade down onto his neck and practically chop his head off.
Hey.
Good riddance.
Something that you noticed, you need to do a sanity roll for that, but you also notice that the man looks completely crazed, like he's fucking out of his mind.
Anybody try to take on old O'Connor in a fight has to be crazed. And that is a fail for this check.
All right. I think this is a lot to deal with. Do a 1d6.
1d6. Okay.
Yeah.
3.
Oh, you're holding yourself together.
Police, probably been in a fight or two.
Yeah.
All right, Oswald. These things are moving very quickly. One of them is going to leap as best it can to the ground in 5 foot of space, but it's leaping towards you. Do you want to fight it or shoot it or jump out of the way or what?
Yeah, so I'm going Doom Space Marine down there. I want to just, I'm just going to.
Yeah, you have one more shot.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep shooting and reloading and shooting and reloading and shooting and reloading.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and take your shot.
That's a big failure.
All right. So you go to shoot, maybe you shoot, but the thing puts its hand on the barrel of your gun and leaps forward, and it's trying to grab your hand again and take another finger. It's grappling with you at the moment. It hasn't managed to get your hand to its mouth, but you can do a spot hidden.
That's a big failure.
Okay, so in the confusion, you're fighting with this thing struggling on the ground. Ethan, you know what's happened. You know that Mary has now slipped down. She's on top of Malcolm. It's kind of pushed you back into the room. The gun's gone off twice now. You guys are completely deaf. Oswald is struggling on the ground with one of these things. What do you want to do?
I'm going to try to help the other two out if I can, unless that doesn't look like I can.
The only way you think that it'll work is if you pull them back down into the room and
What?
then let them, because you're facing up the hole. Mary's facing face down into the hole.
I understand. So I'm going to pull.
There's no
I'm
way
gonna-
to leverage
Yeah.
unless you pull them back
Malcolm.
down.
Okay.
I'm going to have to pull you out because otherwise Mary can't get out either. So I pulled Malcolm out. I said, you better get your pistols out.
Couldn't Desmond grab Mary's? I don't.
He's going through all of this up above, fighting with.
Okay.
This is all happening at the same time.
Yeah, so I'm going to grab Malcolm, pull him out, grab Mary.
But
And you better get your
well, now
pistol.
we can't. But if we're both okay, I guess I confusedly pull her in because now we're stuck.
No, okay, we get Mary in now. We can have her go face forward.
But I
You can go
couldn't.
forward, up, and you could push her.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
And you need to get your
Okay.
pistol. You need to get your pistols out because I think Oswald's in trouble.
All right. Also,
And
Desmond needs to get us out of here. We're all dead. So.
All right. And I'm
Mary,
gonna busy.
Mary, there is a moment when you are in the chamber and you see these things. So you need to do a sanity roll.
It's a 1. Yes.
You were like,
I'm like,
not so bad.
So I'm kind of grappling with one of these things. That was
Right.
Okay.
Malcolm, you also see that he's grappling with one of them.
Abomination. Bah.
So, Mary, what do you want to do?
I don't think I have a gun. So
We're trying to push her up to Desmond. Yeah.
yeah, I'm trying to go back.
all right,
Where's the
I'm gonna-
hole?
We don't
Yeah.
have options.
All right,
We don't really
I'm
have
gonna-
options
we're going-
here.
I'm gonna push her up to.
I'm pushing her up. We're pushing her up. Yeah.
You have a pistol.
We're pushing her up so that Desmond can grab her and then grab us.
Maybe
You wouldn't
you can
have
shoot,
actually
Malcolm,
have
shoot.
time. You wouldn't have time to have this kind of a discussion.
Right. I'm going
So
back up the hole.
We're trying to push her up so that I can
Yeah,
go up.
I'm
We're
helping
not
her
discussing
push up.
anything. We're not discussing anything. Yeah, we're
Get
not
your
discussing anything.
pistols
We're
out.
yelling for Desmond. We're not discussing. We're yelling for Desmond.
So Desmond, standing up there for just a moment of victory with blood splattered all over him from where he chopped the guy's head off. You hear Barry, Desmond, help me.
I'll reach down as far as I can into the hole and be like, grab my hand,
Probably with great, just reach down, pull her out.
pull her out.
All right. And then you can see Malcolm down below. Ethan, as this is going on and you're seeing Oswald struggling, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna grab the shotgun if I can. If I do I see the satchel of spare shells or not? I know I've heard.
Tell you what, I'll hand you my pistol and then I'll start trying to climb up after Mary.
All right.
There you
All
go.
right. Then I will attempt to free up Oswald. He has one
Okay.
grappled, right?
Right. But you actually have 2 or 3 more of them heading right at you.
All right. I'm going to fire at the ones coming at us.
Okay.
Not like I have a real pistol shot, but I'll
Lord.
try.
Miss.
No, I actually hit one.
Jesus.
All right. What did
Hard
you get?
success.
Hard
Hard
success. Okay.
success.
It's better than mine.
Yeah.
Do a. It's a handgun.
D10.
Yeah, D10.
Yeah.
9.
Nice.
All right. You seriously wound one of these things. And in fact, when you wound it, you see it run over towards the well. But the other ones aren't stopping. They're still coming at you.
So how many have we? How many do we see at this point?
At this point, you see 4 at least. And
Took care of one.
there's quite a ruckus going on. All right.
Oswald, I'm not a
Oswald.
good shot.
Oswald, you are struggling with this thing. What's your next move? What you want to do?
I'll try to break free of the grapple. Is there
All
a
right.
skill for grappling or
Yeah,
unarmed?
brawl.
Brawl. It's just unarmed, like weapon.
Correct. Yeah.
Regular.
Well, it's up at the top. It just says fighting brawl. It's one of your skills.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
It's the same.
I'll spend five. So I can't spend luck in combat, right?
No,
Yes,
I
you
think
can.
Yes,
you
you can.
can. You can't push. You can't push
Five.
in combat. Yeah.
Well, I need 5 points. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you managed to throw the thing off of you. They don't weigh a lot. They don't have a lot of body mass. They're almost like desiccated humans. But you managed to throw it off. Desmond, you've pulled Mary up. Mary and Desmond, what do you want to do? You see
Right.
Malcolm struggling. to try
Help!
to get
Help!
up.
Yeah, try to help
Let's
Malcolm
run.
back
No, I'm
up.
just kidding. I'm just kidding. It reach down and try and grab Malcolm's hand.
Yeah.
All right. Do a, we'll call it a maneuver. So do a brawl roll.
All right. Success.
All right. You managed to grab a hold of his hand and start pulling him up and out. So Ethan and Oswald, you guys are stuck down there, at least for the moment, fighting with these things.
I'm going to head towards the hole since I see that Malcolm. Oswald, hold him off. You're next after me. And I hand him the pistol.
One of them is going to leap for you, Ethan.
right.
Do you want to dodge or fight back?
If I dodge, can I still move towards the hole?
Yeah, that's dodging. We'll say that.
All right, I will dodge because I'm not a good fighter. And I barely dodged. I'm in shock that I actually dodged.
Okay. I actually got a hard success. So
I am going to spend some luck then, because I definitely want to avoid this. And I will spend 13 points of luck.
all right. So you managed to dodge. It's trying to grab a hold of you and bite off one of your fingers.
Yeah.
So let's see, where are we now? The three of you are outside the hole. Oswald, what's your next move? What do we want to do?
I will. So I fired once or twice.
You fired twice.
I gave you the pistol.
Your first one was not very. Your second one was.
Second one minutes, right? Okay. So I have a pistol now as well.
Yeah,
I gave you a pistol.
It's a revolver.
correct.
Okay. I'll make sure it's fully loaded.
Well, one shell's been used.
Okay. So 5 shots. Okay. I will.
You don't really have time to load it, but yeah.
Okay. Well, then I'll drop the shotgun at my feet and then raise the revolver, and I'll shoot the one that's standing by Ethan.
Okay. Go ahead and make your shot.
That's a success.
All right.
14.
Roll for damage.
What's the damage on it?
1d10.
D10.
Three.
All right. You wound the thing, and it immediately retreats back and
Do I
heads
spin it?
towards. Well, it turns and it starts to vault itself towards that well.
And is there another one going towards the well also?
Well, there's one that got to the well and leaped in.
Okay.
The other, there suddenly comes a moment of pandemonium. It almost feels to you like a signal went out, and there are 5 more of these things, except that they're all suddenly running past you, heading towards the well, and they're all jumping into the well. And then suddenly you guys are all alone in that chamber. And the fight seems to have stopped.
Yeah, help me get Ethan up here. Yeah.
I want to go down.
Start
I want to go
pulling
down
Ethan
and check the wells. I mean, are they? I assume they're. Do I see them? Do I see anything?
You're gonna go look into the well.
I am
All right.
with the shotgun loaded and the revolver. But
All right. You go to the well and you look over the edge, and all you can see is the black water.
Mhm.
It's of course rippling, but it's you don't see anything. You can't see through the surface of the water. It's too dirty, black.
What's the I mean, like, how tall is the cave where I'm at?
You're hunkered down because it's only about 5 feet high.
And does it seem pretty sturdy?
No. It seems like something that you could pull down.
Okay, then I will
you could pull it down, but you might kill yourself.
I will stand at the from where the hallway to the extent it does, where the hallway opens up into this chamber.
Okay.
And I'll fire the shotgun at the ceiling right above the well.
Okay. Meanwhile, we'll do that in a second. Ethan, they are helping you up and out of the hole, if that's what you're trying to do.
Thank goodness. Oswald, get your feet moving. Get out of there.
Just got one thing I need to do.
All right. Let's leave this up to luck, Oswald. Go ahead and roll your luck.
Okay, well, is that just 50 or I don't see it on my...
Should be
probably 50.
Right above your investigator skills.
Yeah, under
One skill
sanity.
might not be on his thing. Call it 50. 50.
Yeah, if there's nothing, just do 50.
Success.
All right. So your shotgun hits that rock and it starts to crumble and it starts to fall.
I will.
And you're gonna run.
Exit stage left.
All right. Do a dex roll. That's every opportunity to die hard.
I got a 4. Yeah.
Hey!
Oswald takes a running leap, hits that thing, and slides halfway up the hole. You guys grab him and pull him out as that portion of the ground, even up above, sort of caves in a little bit. And you guys pull yourselves up and out of the hole. And you guys are standing there breathing. And you see this dead body lying there with its head half cut off.
Holy crap, Desmond. What the heck happened?
Oh, he bit off more than he could chew, that's all.
Fell and chopped off his head.
Nice phraseology. Bit
Listen,
off more than
we should probably get out of here.
So the ground above the cavern, do we see it? Is it like cratering at this point?
Not the whole thing, just over where you hit. It's dimpled down now.
So it's okay. Right.
Yeah, it might
And
be
do I still have
awesome.
that sensation in my finger, like it's being gnawed on?
At the moment, your adrenaline is so high, you don't know.
Should we toss the body down the hole?
Yeah, sure.
Huh?
Quickly, and then let's not be
I
seen.
think you need a sanity roll for that because you guys aren't used to just murdering people.
He did try to murder us all.
Do I need to do another one, Tom?
What's that?
Fail.
Do I need to do 2? Or do I need to do another
No,
one?
you don't need to do another one.
Okay.
You
All right. Regular success.
I failed. So.
if you failed 1d4. All right.
One more.
So what do you do next?
I don't know about you guys, but I think we need to dynamite that place.
I'm with you.
I agree.
was just
No,
about to say
I agree. There was, I don't know how many of those things there were. I'm just thankful we all got out of there. We gotta fix
God.
this. This is bigger than us.
we might have to go all the way to Inverness to get something.
Well-
like that. Maybe even further.
What time is it?
Your plan is to finish the job.
Yes.
We'll
Well,
say
first-
that as you guys are standing there, your gunshots attracted local attention.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We're not standing by the hole. Like
Right.
we're leaving.
Well, people start coming out from the town to find out what the hell's going on. And in the process, you're sort of getting yourself a village mob. They've heard the rumors. They've heard that there might be something down there. They've heard that people are getting their fingers bit off, and they're mad about it. So you kind of can enlist them
Oh yeah.
to assist.
We even show Oswald as missing a finger to show that
Yeah, it's like,
Right.
it's
listen,
coming.
You want to stop this? We want to stop this, all right? We don't know exactly what's going on, but the finger biting, it ends there. We can end it by doing that.
Old Mr. O'Shaughnessy has some dynamite that he used to blow up stumps. All right. Now, I need to lock it. I think that we'll end it like this. You guys managed to get some dynamite and thoroughly blow up the tunnels. You practically fill them with dynamite. The whole thing goes up. But a couple of days later, as you guys probably are making your way back to London, Osmond suddenly goes, ah! He can feel something gnawing at his finger once again. So blowing the place up didn't stop the problem. And that's where we'll end our story, because we're at almost 4 hours. All right, so what happened? What was really going on? The McDougalls were running out of money back in the 1700s. You heard that part. Andrew McDougal made a deal with an entity that he managed to conjure up. And the deal was for the gold, that he wanted to be rich once again. But the thing in payment wanted him to do certain things for it. And when those things escalated to the point of possibly committing murder, Andrew freaked out. He was like, there's no way I'm going to do that. So what he did is he went to the local priest and said, I need you to do an exorcism to try and drive this evil spirit out of our tower. And the exorcism was actually done, but those things don't really work. They're not real. So all it did was piss the creature, the thing, off. And so what it did is in the middle of the night, it snuck into their tower and it bit one of their fingers off each. And then it took the fingers and it worked its magic so that they would become sicker and sicker and sicker and eventually go completely insane and die. And once that had happened, and the reason why Ian wasn't affected was because he wasn't there. He never had his fingers stolen. Once it had done that and they died, then it turned them into these things, and it took their fingers, and it jammed them down their throats. So the only way to kill these things was to destroy that finger inside them. So shooting them in the head and killing them, they would just reanimate the next day and come back. One thing that you didn't know, you kept failing your spot hidden, was that they all had signet rings for the McDougalls on. It wasn't the finger that got bit off, but which finger it was didn't matter. Then the other part is Bannerman had been a traveling salesman, and he'd heard the rumors about gold, and he'd gone snooping around, and he's the one who initially accidentally dug up the hole. And when he did, he was attacked, and the thing took his finger, and he slowly over the course of a couple of weeks went completely insane, and he became a thrall. He was their thing. And so what he did was he would go into town, pick up a prostitute, drug her, take her back to the thing, let them bite off her finger, and then bring them back, put them in. That's a few times. When you guys threw the firebomb inside, the creatures knew that they were in danger. And so what they did is they sent out a psychic message to Bannerman and said, protect us. And so Bannerman immediately came back into town and started heading up the hill, and he sees Desmond there, and whack, or tries to whack it. And I think that's pretty much everything. Any other questions?
Oh man.
The only thing we did was kill one.
So does that mean that Clarence and Oswald became thralls?
No. They.
Okay.
Well, the farther away they got, if you got far enough away, the creature was literally, they were gnawing on your fingers.
Right.
And that was part of the curse. That would eventually stop. I mean, eventually there wouldn't be anything left to gnaw on the bone, but it would take about a month. And so if you managed not to go completely stark raving mad from the pain.
So a month of hell for Clarence and Oswald.
Right.
Their sanities are never going to recover.
I'll never get my finger back.
That is, nope, you'll never get your fingers back.
Wow. Good stuff.
Our players included Holly Buteau, Brian Ridge, Patrick O'Brien, John Dos Passos, and Oren Meyer, with yours truly as the keeper of the secrets. We have a Discord server where we can chat with our other members. You can set up private games. You can learn the fine arts of gameplay and game mastering. There's a link below. We're currently producing up to 4 shows a week with music and sound effects added in post-production in order to create a richer listener experience. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. The costs involved with the show are provided almost entirely by our patrons. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. If you'd like to help support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 to a month helps us a lot. You can find a link in the description below. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good gaming.